Imperial, but I'm
Don't old texter.
But I
God
think,
now.
but I think Flip is here.
She says she's here, Vashki.
Good morning again from the Caparica Surf Fest. Broadcast will start in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. The Caparica broadcast will start in 2 minutes. The Caparica Surf Fest starts in 1 minute. Broadcast will start in 1 minute. Live in 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good morning, bom dia. It's a beautiful spring day on the shores of Costa Caparica, Portugal. And we are live from Portugal, QS Warriors in town. And we're looking at a big week of competition, hopefully getting underway today. Joining myself, Paul Evans, to talk you through it. Red hot takes, searing insights from Ben Mundy and Chico Alves. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Paul.
How are we feeling?
You ever lost 20 cents and found $1, Paul? That's how good I feel right now. I'm in Caparica, the sun's shining, there's waves, the QS is on.
Chico, mate, the local knowledge, you must be proud to have the best QSs from around Europe in town.
I am proud. I think it's going to be a really good week of waves. The swell looks really good. And yeah, can't wait to watch the best surfers in Europe in action.
Can I just say a bold move for wearing the white on camera as well, guys? Rules are made to be broken, right?
I called Chico, I said, what are you wearing? And he said, we're wearing white. We go together. And that's the way it worked. And I stand by my choice, Paul.
A white party on a Monday morning. A surf fest. What does a Caparica surf fest mean to you, Ben? If you could sum it up, it's hard to do, and you've got a week to do that, but just initial thoughts and vibes on being back here.
Celebration of surfing, Paul. This is a hotbed, a competitive hub of competitive surfing in Portugal. It's where a lot of the big events go down. The sun's out. You can see the seasons turning, and that's the final event of the QS for the Europeans. So it's massive, Paul. It's just the place to be if you want to do European surfing.
QS points up for grabs here. Let's remind ourselves what's gone down on an eventful season so far on the QS in Europe. That's been our season so far on the QS in Europe. When Rob Gunning talks, we listen.
Rob Gunning, I see. He says, yeah, we had a few problems in the Azores. So, yeah, the whole event, we almost was blown over by a Category 9 storm and didn't run. But typical Rob, he just says, yeah, we had a few problems. We got over that. So a few tricky conditions, some tricky forecasts. But I'll tell you what, not in Caparica, Chico. We're looking good, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we saw by the highlights that we had maybe 2 events that were really difficult. And I think this one is looking promising. So I think all the surfers are excited to be here. And yeah, I think it's always a comp you look for, Caparica?
I've got a tough question for you, Chico.
Tell me.
Can the Portuguese step up? They're struggling a bit in the QS. I'm going to send some Portugueses to the challenges.
You know why I think so? I think the Portuguese stand out when there's good waves. So I think
the old good waves excuse, huh? Heard that before.
That works. Works on the QS.
No, but I think whenever there's swell
Right.
and there's some good open faces, I think the Portuguese surfing
what you're saying is
stands
the
out.
French are only good when it's small.
No, I'm just saying they're going to surf good because it's going to be good.
Well, we're looking at hopefully getting some great waves this week, right? We're feeling pretty good. It's been a great winter in most of Europe, Portugal particularly. We've had offshores, plenty of swell. The swell quite relatively sort of west, so coming straight in. Good for this break right here.
Yeah, I'll leave it to Chico. He's the local and he knows this place pretty much inside out. But yeah, from my sort of limited knowledge, we've got swell and offshore breezes, right? Chico, here's the forecast here, mate. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it's going to be really good for the next couple of days. Today is a bit smaller, but from Tuesday until Thursday, it's going to be some swell on the way, and I think it's going to be really good. I saw the
Is that big
sandbank
enough for the
last week.
Portuguese?
I saw the sandbank last week,
Okay.
and it's looking really good. I
Yep.
saw some A-frames near the pier. I think is where the guys are going to be surfing, and the girls. So, yeah, I think with swell, it's going to be punchy and a bit like last year's finals day, like the year Maximus No won. So, yeah, I think it's going to be really fun for them.
Still waiting for our official call this morning, but we're feeling good about getting underway. Ben, I just wonder, last event, last chance really to stake a claim for the challengers. Do you think there'll be some extra nerves, some extra pressure? Who's going to handle it best?
Well, absolutely, because this is the chance to get on the Challenger Series, and that's massive. That starts in Australia in May on
Soon,
the Snapper Banks. So, and that's your rest of your year, kind of. You commit to it, you take it on, and if you don't have that, it's a massive blow. So yeah, there's going to be huge nerves. I think there's people right on the bubble, even experienced guys. We saw Marco Lacamo. We might go for the ratings a bit after the call, but yeah, there's going to be some really, it's all sudden death. There's no sort of losers around. You go straight in, you get knocked out, you're out. So yeah, there'll be nerves. And I'm looking forward to how the people handle the pressure.
Oh, we touched on the men's side with the French doing well, and no Portuguese names as yet in those positions. But of course, on the women's side, dominance from Portugal and some really, really strong women surfers.
Yeah, I think they've been stepping it up, the Portuguese surfing. Francisca Vezel, of course, being the world champion right now. And yeah, the surfing, the Portuguese woman surfing has been improving so much over the last 3 years. So,
How could we not mention Hopkins? We got vision of her on that little package there. The wild card performance a month ago up in Peniche, knocking out Carissa Moore. Can't wait to see her surf.
Yeah, that was incredible performance to beat the 5 times world champion. And, she's actually really disappointed. She had a chance in the quarterfinal and she didn't get the waves, but she could have gone further. So, yeah, it really showed that she belongs at that elite level, and it was great to see.
Let's go and get the call with Joanna Garnell. Thanks very much, Joanna Garnell. Let's get this underway. Hugo Pinero looking, it's got the loose bun.
Yeah.
Not too tight for the first day, just loose.
He likes to keep it pretty loose. He doesn't, not the Croydon facelift kind of a guy. He's more of a loose top bun, and I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, let's check out our first heat in the water. Small conditions, super cleano. Look at that. You could almost drink that if it wasn't salty.
It looks just absolutely aquamarine. Just, we are literally in the shadows of Lisbon, one of the great cities of Europe. And then just down the road, we get sort of conditions and waves like this. It's a remarkable location. And we've got 3 surfers out there. It's just trying to stay in and trying to stay involved in Caparica. Pretty hard that first heat, hey, Chico? Always difficult to get out there in that first heat, not only of the day, but of the whole event. And these guys will be nervous.
Yeah, you can feel a bit lost maybe on the first heat of the day because you have no references of other heats and of scores. So yeah, they are making the way to the other surfers instead of them seeing what they should do on heats. But yeah, I think being a competitor, it's a bit like this. You need to step it up when you need to, and you don't choose if you go on the first heat or on the last one. So yeah, but being on the first one, it's really hard.
Let's talk about your winter, Chico. It's top of the show. We sort of mentioned it. It's been pumping here in Portugal, right? Pretty much non-stop. How would you rate the winter? Score out of 10.
Yeah, I think this was probably February was probably the best winter we had in the last maybe 5 years. So
Okay.
I think we had waves from north to south of Portugal, like pumping barrels everywhere. So yeah, I think everyone scored.
Obviously, the
I saw
best
the clips.
was here in Caparica, but there were other spots as
Yeah,
well. But it's
obviously
mainly
the
here.
best spots was Caparica.
Yep.
And yeah, it was crazy because every day I would see someone getting so barrel, and it was on a different spot. And yeah, so it was a really interesting month. So everyone is missing February and posting throwbacks of February. And we are in April now. So I think next year we'll see clips from February still.
It does feel very spring-like, doesn't it, around and about, particularly down here. You cross that Lisbon Bay, sort of maybe out some of that north wind, that northwest wind as well, the chill wind, Ben. It does feel a little bit sort of warmer and just happier and just lovely down here.
Yeah, there's nothing like it, is it? That first taste of spring, and you're right. It's sort of tucked away. You can see looking north up there that sort of the Cascais coast bends around and Lisbon's tucked in, and this is further tucked around again. So it's like it's a whole new little ecosystem down here in Caparica, and you can just tell as you wake up, there is not a cloud in the sky. You just know that today and the next few days is going to be absolutely glorious, and that's a wonderful feeling, knowing what's coming your way, Paul. It's just the predictability of great weather and that fresh feeling of spring, and that the crowds down here go mad for it. There's so many people on holidays, so many surf fans, and we're going to see some packed beaches coming our way this week.
Yeah,
no one does it better, Paul, than the Portuguese in pro surfing.
No
one does it better.
And I would say this venue, just in terms of ease for like watching, for cruising up and down as well, it's got a lot to offer. Let's check out live action here. It's Lopez in reds, going fast, with a little fruity dismount as well. He's running the boots this morning. I'm not sure it's that chilly.
Yeah, it looks like warm today. It feels really warm today, so maybe he's been hanging around for a month now here in Costa. And yeah, 3 weeks ago it was really cold, so maybe he's just used to.
Some guys prefer them, don't they?
Mundy likes a boot, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'd prefer not to.
Well,
yeah,
it's just becomes a sort of more of a reality for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it too soon to talk about the toe,
No,
or
no.
should we talk about the toe on the very first heat on the first day?
It's just a body.
How's it healing, Ben?
It's not actually.
How's your healing journey?
It's not healing. It's a problem.
It's getting worse.
There is a remedy getting fixed next month. Paul, you have to know. There's going to be an operation.
Two of the great toe injuries in popular culture: Bob Marley and Ben Mundy.
And David Beckham.
Sure. His was a metatarsal, wasn't it, rather than
I'm
the
gonna
toe
count it.
itself? But, okay. Here's Cipriano. Bang. Heat leader. Nicely done. He's smooth. He's lithe. He's limber. So yeah, it's you having the up or what?
Yeah, going to get the toenail removed, Paul. Yeah, they're going to fix that once for all, or chop it off. We'll see what comes first. See what's cheaper.
As you see, White Ear finishing it off this wave really good with this quick hit of the top. We can tell it's really hard to surf. It's beautiful, as we said before, but it's quite soft, the wave. So I think tomorrow we're going to see some proper waves. Today we've seen just not enough, I think. But yeah, they need to run because we have a lot of heats to run, right?
How's the tides work, Chico? What sort of what happens here? Is it high, low? What's best? As we see, Hackman just trying to eke out a little thing. Yeah, on the push, on the drop. What goes on in Caparica?
Well, I think with swell, I really like the high tide. It gets really near the shore, kind of punchy.
Chico loves a wedge, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Loves a shory wedge.
Also likes a short paddle.
Yeah, it's what I was gonna say. I just love a short paddle. When it's low tide, it's quite far, and I get like, oh my god, I'm just gonna wait for the high tide.
I'll just go to the bakery.
Exactly. But yeah, high tides are the best here because you have short paddles and the wave is just like quick and you don't paddle too much. So as a surfer, you want to stand up as much as you can and not paddle too much. So yeah, someone needs to develop something to take us outside. Like we don't need to paddle anymore. Not everywhere you go, but like imagine you go to Desert Point. You want to do the paddle around. You just have something like you turn on and you go like, wee.
Well, there is motorised winches available these days. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, you can get those motorised winches that you put on the beach, like and the little handheld ones. I mean,
but how do you turn it on?
Doing remote control.
Oh, you have it?
You have it yourself.
Because I thought it needs to be someone on the.
Nah,
on the
not
machine,
anymore. There's now ones they're Wi-Fi operated, and you control the speed of the winch and that, so you can do it. Yeah, it's crazy. But I don't know if you want to do it at Desert Point. It could cause a bit of a ruckus in the lineup.
Exactly.
Imagine that. Oh, who's this guy? Yeah.
Where is he coming from?
Yeah. Why is he? He seems to be towing himself into waves.
As we see a bit of a lull here, but what a beautiful day, Paul. Looks so nice. I think in 2 hours we're gonna have a big, how do you say?
Slump
in the water.
No, it's going to be warm, mate. It's warm all week. It was warm last night. I got here, rolled into town end of the afternoon. Delightful, packed on the beach, real hot and sunny. It was busy. A lot of people drinking on the beach, which was cool. And just generally sort of having fun. Great beach vibes, a little restaurant buzz up and down as well. Yeah, it was really fun.
Do you feel any difference in Costa over the last years in terms of like?
It's got busy, I'd say. Yeah, I feel like every time we come for this event, I don't know if it's just gaining traction or it just feels busier every time we come. I think a lot of that's got to do with the weather, though, doesn't it? We're close to the city, short hop across the Golden Gate Bridge. You see the weather's good. You fill up the cooler. Maybe it's a Yeti. Fill it up and come with a great picnic. Have a great time on the beach, watch the surfing, go surfing, or just have a swim.
Or just watch surfing.
Happy days. Happy days.
Get autographs, perhaps. All right, here goes Heinz. Bang. Goes left. And a little clip off the top. No huge numbers as yet from our panel. What's he got on the inside? He's got some speed. He's going real fast. Whacka off the top. And again, he's just belting it.
It's been working with Beric de Vries, Ollie. A little warm-up this morning. Had a quick chat. He seemed pretty confident. I'll tell you why. Now I see why. Just left, right, left. And read this really well. Good style. Those little foam climbs, you think, well, this is not going to offer much, but he stuck with it, and eventually it came good. So, yeah, probably the best wave of the heat so far. What do you reckon? Chico?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the best wave of the. He connected 2 snaps at the end there. He had off the top, out the back. And, yeah, this is the kind of wave you want to get.
Speaking of Desert Point.
Yeah, looks like desert. But no shallow reef. And, yeah, I just think this is the type of wave with this type of tide that you want to catch here. Is the ones that kind of reform and gives a bit of a hand section. And, yeah, he found it. So we see white upper riding now. Quick carve there. Another one looks like a carbon board. Is that a carbon board? An epoxy?
Might just be painted black.
Wow. Great snap there from Red and a good hit of the top 20 in this wave. So a bit of action now in the water. So
I feel like they should all get through. It feels like pretty close. Can we send them all to the next round?
Just every heat, just an endless loop that just goes on interminable.
Is that our life?
Yeah,
Is that our life?
Sometimes I feel like that's what's happening. Just missed that little section, didn't he? But yeah, it's a little flurry of waves, so guys getting involved, all surfing pretty good. Not making many mistakes. That's so clean, isn't it? I think we're going to get used to that this week. Just offshore all day and lovely, lovely texture. And he's winding around. Just couldn't quite get those connections that Ollie Heinz did. And still low scores. More to come. 10 minutes. That's the thing we're going to find out. I think, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but you know, there's going to be so many ways, a lot of them. There's going to be sort of so many twists and turns all the way to the final buzzers.
Guess the number of jelly beans in the jar. How many waves are we going to have ridden this week, Ben? I need a number.
That's a good question, Paul.
It's a
Let's quickly
great
do the
question.
maths.
It's a great question. That's why
I
I'm
think
sitting
going to
in
be
the
an
host
average
chair.
of 20 waves per heat. And I reckon there's going to be 4,000 heat. Now, I reckon...
More than 20 waves of heat.
Do you
I
reckon
mean,
more?
I would say certain surfers will catch 20 waves themselves.
But across the average of the... I'm going to say 8,454.
Okay. Chico?
9,224.
I think that feels high. I'm going to go with 7,000.
We
7,000
need
wave.
to... whose job could that be? To actually count every individual wave, tally that up, present in some type of running total. Sound like a job for Nico Loire to me. I mean, that's interesting. I find it interesting. There's a lot of waves getting ridden. I'd like to see the percentage of waves ridden in the various categories from excellent to good to medium to...
It looks like we're
Four.
sitting a bit inside. Can you explain this positioning, Chico? There's ways out the back, but feels like we're sitting, on the inside. What's that about? No good out the back? Go soft?
Well, when you're sitting out the back, it's way harder to see the ones that are going to reform. And when you're sitting in the middle, you can tell which one has the force to actually double up and give you these type of sections. And in Costa, you want to surf where the sand is and not where the deep area is, because the wave gets really soft. So anytime you can and you get a double up near the sand, it's going to give you a bit more push than just a wide wave and a long one.
Hackman there, looking smooth. Smaller wave. It's nice and clean, though. Bang. I like it. Put him through.
Jeff? Yeah, he missed a few sections there. Actually a bit disappointed that he didn't connect a bit heavily on that first bit. Because he had that nice little double-up section. Cipriano cracking it on the inside. Hopefully we'll start to see those waves, as you say. Chico getting next to the wall. That's when they tend to get you probably the best waves around this beach, when they're just sort of bit of a refraction off the groins that sort of run all the way down to the south here. But they've been busy. So that wave Ollie Heinz was the one that's put him up in front, but it's all super, super tight. A lot of these guys are starting off on their QS journey. And, we've all been through our own QS journeys, haven't we, Paul? And, I like that you see these young guys come through, you start to see some new talent, and they start off in these early rounds. You see how much it means to him. And big fist pump. That was a real soft first turn. And that was a pretty sort of couple of shallow ones, and you'd be like the fist pump, I like the passion.
It was a little bit of the Tim Henman almost. The slight Tiger Tim.
Yeah, like
just a little...
elbow in.
Yeah.
Elbow against the chest.
As we see a bit of a paddle battle now to get that third and fourth priority. We love a good paddle battle. I think it's one of the best parts of watching pro surfing.
Yep. I'm all for it. I'd bring back the priority boy if I had my choice.
When's Bell start? Tonight? Tomorrow?
Yeah, within 12 hours.
Have you done your fantasy teams, guys?
I did.
Locked it in?
I'm so bad
Would
at
you like
my
to
group.
talk us through your picks, Chico?
Well,
7 minutes remaining in this one.
I've put Kano Igarashi because I think he's needing
Because he's your friend.
No, come on.
Okay.
I just think he's going to do that.
He's in the last tier, right? It's tier C. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
As we see here, giving some tips of the action for the next hit. Let's listen.
Talking about the various options of priority. Yeah, Kanoa, no, it's a good shout.
Kanoa.
He's under the pump, isn't he, Kanoa? And he needs
on the ropes.
and he serves bells well. Obviously, he serves everywhere well.
No, but yeah, Kano, I think he's going to do his major result just now. I think he had a hard couple events, and I think he's going to be his good event now.
Okay, have you got anyone else, or just Kanoa Igarashi?
I'm going to tell my team live now. I have Toledo,
Federico Moraes.
Chianca, Ethan Wing, John, Iskelau, Koloe, and Gabes.
Okay.
What?
What?
Chloe Andino. All right.
Also under the pump.
I'm rooting for him. I just feel he was a father not too long ago. And
What about for the
it's,
women?
It's really hard to travel with just a newborn. And yeah, I'm just rooting for him.
Who's your women?
Yeah, I'm going to tell my woman now. I have Betty Lou, Caroline Marks, Caitlin Simmons, and Stephanie Gilmore.
Mark Zalupo. Classic.
Yeah,
Bells.
she does love the bells. No Picklum, current leader. Leader
I know,
jersey.
but I'm going to go with Caitlin. I can't wait to see her draw some really long lines. I think bells suits her surfing.
Let's check out the heat recap. It's our opening heat of the Caparica Surf Fest 2023. And it's a beautiful morning.
Absolutely glorious. First heat of the day. We're off and running as early as we can. We're trying to run 16 heats today if possible. And these guys just getting it started. This is the best wave of the heat. Ollie Hines has got him out in the lead. Pretty much courtesy of these last two sort of wraps here, to be honest. Bit of spray. Small wave, but he's milked it. That's a nice turn. And then the third one. And there, those three turns have got him a lead and most probably into the next round. The other guys, they fought back. That's what we were saying. A real flurry of activity around the 10-minute mark. And just missed that little section. But he came around Lopez and finished it off. And that's got those two guys, I think, in first and second place with just on 4.5 minutes remaining.
Do you fancy Molly at Bells, do you, Ben?
Yeah, I do, actually.
You like the look of Picklum?
I think Bells, I mean, they've all got experience there, haven't they? All those, I mean, Steph's been surfing there since she was 14. But I think, yeah, Molly's grown up on the junior series there. Surfing suits the wave. She's confident. She doesn't feel the pressure. I think she's going to be...
So that's your tier A pick.
Yeah.
Who else you got for the women?
I like Caroline Marks.
Yeah.
I think her backhand obviously suits that wave. And I'm going to throw in a Macy Callahan, you know. I think she's forehand wraps, a bit of open face surfing, a predictable wave that she likes. So, I threw her in.
And on the men's side?
Philippe Toledo. Heard of him?
He's quite good. Yep.
It's quite good.
Have you heard of him?
I just saw a clip of him
Oh,
yesterday.
you know him?
Yeah,
I
know
thought I
him.
picked him just out of... Yeah, I think... I think he too, with that rail game he's developed over the last... sort of, especially the last 4 or 5 years, is suited to that wave. Gabe, as always, due a result, isn't he? Medina a little bit, sort of been a little bit hit and miss this year. So I think I'd always put Medina in, and even though it's a relatively tricky wave and he's on your backhand. And Callum Robson, last year's finalist, came runner-up, had a massive result in Portugal. Just a bit of a... It's just gnarly Aussie. I always back a gnarly Aussie when, especially if it's solid, if it's 8, 10 foot bells.
But it's not going to be. It's going to be small, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be small. I almost put him.
You don't know that.
You didn't know that?
You don't know that. You can't predict this stuff.
You pretty much can. You can pretty much exactly predict it.
Going to be small.
You don't know that. No one knows that. I don't care. Callum Robinson, 2 foot, perfect. Rincon specialty. I'll stand by my selection.
Okay. Well, you can, obviously, you don't have to lock in until the first round's done, before the elimination round starts. Got a wave here from Cipriano. He's got some speed. He's got some venom and some fizz. Throwing up some spray, a little wiggle on the end.
There's
the Tiger Tim Henman fist bump. He likes it. He's in second. He's tied for first. And he thinks he might go to first all on his own right now.
Yeah, picked up that little runner, as you say. Shika said about hitting that sand is what you want. That first turn was one of the better ones. Saw the fins driving off the bottom on that blackboard. And then a few more tags. And then almost finishes it, but still gets the fist bump in for Cipriano. He loves it. And he's going to make his job a little bit easier, put a bit more pressure on the Hackman, the Jeff, and Fernandez Lopez as well.
Mr. Sunrise, we'll call Hackman. We got Mr. Sunset. It could be Mr. Sunrise.
The first day of the day. Yeah, I like it.
Here he is. Whoa. Got some speed up. Didn't quite get the turn done. Not the wave he was looking for. He's got 90 seconds.
Yeah, that's enough time out here. One of the few places in the world where your 90 seconds can make it count.
Get 3 waves.
And we're already up, getting close to that 8,442 mark that
he mentioned before.
Yeah.
In only one hit.
Yeah. It'll be good to see how many waves have been ridden. But, he's 20. I'll stand by it as an average, but we shall see. Bated breath.
Well, you got Paul for bells. You didn't tell us.
Yeah, I think I'm going to save it.
I
gonna
just
save
knew
it.
Good.
Is it controversial?
He just throws the question and then he sits there like,
he's
well,
literally
and the weather is really good for today.
He's literally just buying time. As he
No,
thinks
I've done
of-
my team. I did it in the car yesterday on the way down. Is it controversial to say that I don't do the World Surf League fantasy? I do a rival one.
That's probably quite controversial, I
Yeah.
would say.
It is a bit.
What's
I
it called?
do both, obviously, but I happen to be #1 in the world on rival one, so yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sticking with that. I'll show you if you don't believe me.
You're in first.
20 seconds to go in this heat. Cipriano does extend. He was tied for first, and now he goes into the lead all on his own. Counting down, Lopez and Hackman need numbers. They're not big ones. Priorities with Ollie Heinz, though. Is he going to see this out? Here's a last gasp effort. Fernandez, Lopez swinging. Looking for 3-5. Couple of hits. Second term was decent. What do we think? 3-5? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
I think this was probably top 3 best wave for this heat.
Heinz could be in trouble here.
Because he had a really good last turn. And I think the judges are missing that big turn. And yeah, I think we saw there a good connection of 2 turns. The first turn was really solid and he came around the section and hit really vertical. So let's see it again. Great snap here, winds up and boom, puts the board there almost 12 o'clock. Was like 11:45, but
3-5-1, the requirement.
Small wave. But they're all small
Ben.
waves, aren't they? I stuck by it. It's vertical, though, isn't it? They haven't seen any sort of vertical action.
exactly.
So it's going to be close. Judges needing straight off into it. First heat of the day. Massive call on the buzzer. Get used to it, guys. There's going to be a lot of those coming your way over the next 5 or 6 days.
He doesn't look too flustered either way.
Didn't even do it. Yeah, no fist pump. Yeah, obviously a bit more of a calm, cool, collected.
We reckon he's
Cipriano.
good. He's
Yeah.
safe, Cipriano. It could be Heinz possibly in a spot of bother when the score comes in. I reckon Cipriano's through either which way you slice it, whether that's from first or second. We are waiting for scores. More pumps of the fist. Judging panel are having a real good think about this.
Let's go for a break in 20,
I tell you what, Surfwell,
19,
we're going to leave you on
18,
tenterhooks
17.
with the suspense of the outcome of this heat. It's still the judges at the moment. We're going to go to a commercial break. It's a beautiful opening day at the Caparica Surf Fest.
Stay tuned.
Live from
10,
Lisbon, Portugal.
9,
We'll be right back.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Thirty seconds to come back.
Welcome back, and you can tell by the pats on the back, the hugs and the smiles and the cheers that man there, Lopez, has got the score he needed. Got a 4-point ride, needed a 3.51. So already in the first heat of the day, the round of 112, of the Caparica Surf Fest. We've had some drama. We've had some excitement. Speaking of excitement and drama, well, I'm Ben Mundy and I'm joined in the booth by Philippe Jarvis.
Hi, Ben. Hi, everyone at home and watching us. It's good to be back.
Oh, it's great to have you, mate. We had Chico in. We've booted him out. And we've talked about his winter. You've been a busy boy. You've been surfing a lot. I've seen. Jarvis, how would you just sort of describe the last few months in Portugal, surfing-wise?
It has been really, really fun. Unfortunately, I missed probably the 2 best weeks of surfing in Portugal in February. I was traveling I went all the way to Turkey, and it was pretty fun, but it was a bummer looking at the Instagram and watching the waves pumping all over Portugal, but it's still fun.
You can't do it all, mate.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't do it all. And, it's been some waves. And we've got a good forecast here. We've got some waves at Caparica. You know, it's a wave you've compared that know well. And, yeah, what's your vibe, mate?
The forecast looks pretty fun. Like, really, really fun. A lot of good waves, a lot of... we're going to get some warm weather as well. It's going to be pretty fun around. The sandbanks are actually really fun. I was just looking at the ocean right at the front, and it looks pretty fun, that little ride. And then there's a few peaks down the bank as well. So it's going to be a really fun week.
Yeah, and scupper off one quick turn. And the direction of the swell looks quite good, a bit more sort of west. Is that a bit better for this?
Yeah, it is. It's always a bit better when we have west swells because then... especially the water temperature gets a little warmer.
Right.
But normally it just hits the sandbank on a different way and has a little bit more power normally. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really a really nice contest because it's the last one before the challengers. It should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot at stake.
Yeah, it's a lot at stake. We've had the European qualifying series run through 6 events. Taken in Morocco, been to France, been to Spain, been to the Azores, and now we're wrapping up here in Caparica. But one person who is still in with a chance in this event is the winner from that last heat down on the beach with Joanna Garnell. Thanks, Joanna. What a lovely voice. He's got a voice for radio, hasn't he? He's got like a real good timbre.
Really smooth.
Smooth. Oh, speaking of smooth, Dos Santos. Oh, there's 3 big hits. Yeah, just a smooth, kind of deep timbered voice for radio. Yeah, loved it. And just been here for 10 days. Talk about commitment. He did say that this is the most difficult round. Well, I don't know if that's not exactly the truth, but maybe for him personally, just to get through that first one, so important, isn't it?
Yeah, as we see here, the replay, that nice lip line floater straight into a snap on the top and finishing off really strong. This is going to be the best wave of the day so far. We only had 2 hits, but very well surfed by the surfer in red. And how that board, it looked insane, full of 100% carbon. It looked like for these conditions should be really, really fast and spicy.
Yeah, really spicy. Got some speed on those little waves, and yeah, just had enough to finish it off strong. So we'll see what Donegan Dos Santos will say. Don't know a lot about his background. An interesting sort of collection of names, which might hint at some type of mixed sort of heritage. I'll tell you what, he is really fast, really quick, and started off really strong. So we'll see what that score comes in. We've got Minga, Scopper, Cornack, and Dos Santos all having a go. And, you know, one thing about this wave, isn't it? It's, especially as the swell fills in, there's so much opportunity. You can't, there's no often real defined peak, is there, Philippe? So you can always escape and try and get an edge of a corner, or you can always get a chance to bolt back out if you get a quick wave. It always offers something for you, even if you're in a hole.
Yeah, it's pretty consistent out there. You just normally you wait and you wait for the good ones, but as you said, there's so many waves, there's so much opportunity, and the surfers just need to stay active and make sure they find the right ones, and those ones that allows you to go big and get some turns done. Because as we see, first wave of red 6.17. That's why you need to get through these rounds.
Yeah, you don't need huge numbers. But that's a really, really solid start. Some Team Italia there, warming up. A vast array of surfers coming from all over the continent to come down here. Austrians, we've got Scandinavians, obviously a real strong group of Portuguese. And we see this one here driving down the line, waits the section, tries to get a bit of release and does.
Yeah, he managed to get some speed on that one and ended up doing a finishing turn pretty good. As we see green up and riding, this is the replay actually. A couple of nice turns, finishing this one off. It's not easy because you see a lot of waves. It's super consistent, but there's not too many really good waves. It's kind of hard to read the ocean because there's a lot of double ups, as you can see. The sandbank, the wave just breaks on the outside, and then it's hard to know where it's gonna break and to be on the right spot. But yeah, still plenty of opportunities for everyone.
Yeah, Chico Alves said that potentially as the swell fills in over the next few days, we might get sort of waves next to the groin a bit more to the north. There's a good bank there. See, fresh board, new Bradley getting unveiled there. Christian Bradley, Tasmanian surfer and shaper based up in France under Euroglass, making some great boards for Europe's best surfers now for a decade. Mm-hmm. And that could be the backup. Freshie he's got. His fins in there. You don't want to forget those. I'll tell you about that for nothing. So there we see, looking more for sort of setup here, those little groins that have solidified the sand here and sort of create the banks. It's a shallowish sort of base. That's where you lack a little bit of power. But because those groins, there's always sand. There's always, often the rips come up next to the groin and dump sand at the back. So such a really, really awesome spot to surf, especially in winter, Felipe?
Yeah,
so
there's
really
so
consistent.
many waves around Costa. You can surf when it's on a smaller day like today. There's so many beaches that allows you to get some sandbanks, and when it gets bigger, you can go further down south to Fonte da Telha, which holds a lot more swell, and there's so much opportunity around Costa da Caparica. It's definitely one of the most consistent places in Portugal to surf.
Who's your favourite Caparican? Favourite ever surfer from this part of the world?
Chico.
Chico?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
No, it's not. Mainly because he's from my generation, so there's older guys that used to rip back in the day from Costa as well, and there's a few kids, new kids on the block as well. But Chico is from a generation, and actually, Chico is one of my favorite surfers in the whole world because his style and he surfs really good. And as you can see, there's so much sand. You just need to find the right spot.
Yeah, just walk down, find your own peak, and all the way down. There's little restaurants and bars sort of tucked in those little sand dunes further south. So if you had a lovely surf, you can go and have a nice pizza or a drink. There's waves the whole way down, and that's a natural reserve. So it's stunning. And the escarpment behind us. Yeah, we love it here. And who says Santos been the busier of the surfers? He's got that extra board speed. He's just faster, and then just throws a little reverse. So a bit of flair and sticks it. So yeah, looking cocky, I would say. Looking confident.
That board looks insane in between transitions because there's not too much power out there, and you can see his board just doesn't stop. It just goes from rail to rail, just keeps that momentum and speed, and allows him even to go for a little air.
Yeah, throwing a bit of progression, not easy. Showing his confidence as well. You can see those wobbles and warps in the bank there now. And he just found a little sweet spot here, didn't he?
Look at this. The wave is just so small, doesn't have any power, but the board just keeps on going. Check this out. Just gets a bit more speed, and here, bit more progression, as you said. I don't know if the judges will count this in, but it was still the technique is there and the progression is there as well. I don't know. It's maybe because of that little side wash, it was not easy to land. So, but still very well surfed by Dos Santos, and I haven't heard from him, and he's impressing me so far.
Yeah, really strong start, and got a score of 6.17, which is the best score of the 2 heats so far, and looking good. As you see, Haminga just lets that one go, and he just extends his lead. A bit hard to say. I think the right-handers have been the highest scoring wave, and Haminga pulls the trigger, so he's got a bit more speed here. He's a big lad. Comes around the corner, 2 turns, it's a little bit stuck, trying to finish it off and can't, so that's going to be a little bit disappointing. Sort of a bit heavier build, so probably these conditions not quite as suited to his style. He's a powerful dude, but he's still in the mix and just couldn't really find a sweet spot in this wave, Philippe.
Yeah, this wave had a lot of potential. Yeah, it did one turn and then the second one, but yeah, as you said, he didn't find the rhythm. He couldn't explode as much as he wanted to, but as you said, he's a big guy. This kind of conditions sometimes are a little bit difficult for bigger guys. As you can see, the Santos small and light, and you can see that on the transition on between turns and on the power as well. And you see here, White up and riding as well, another big surfer as well. So yeah, sometimes it's good to be light and small, but sometimes it's good to be big and strong when it's bigger conditions. And we're gonna have some of those in the middle of the week. We're going to see the big guys just going for big turns.
Yeah, there's some big guys, some big names coming up, all rating, all trying to get into that Challenger Series event. Oh, there we go. There's a bit more flair. Oh, and there's another one. Can he finish off here? He can. So, Haminga, straight back into it, staying busy. Yeah, we've got the likes of Mark Lacamere, Joanne Giroux. I think Joanne might be surfing. He's already locked his qualifying series spot in. Sorry, Challenger Series spot in, so he's good.
Really?
But Kaoli Vast.
And
yeah, guys like
the
that.
number one on the ranking, Caparica as well. He had the wild card here in Portugal. He actually did pretty well in the first heat, and he showed a bit of surfing.
He was really impressive, Thiago, I thought, at Super Tubes. I think he was just packing some massive waves as well, just really stood up. I think sometimes those wild cards, like, you know, it's such a big opportunity, and
it is.
You know, it can get to you. Oh, he just goes down the hole. But I think Thiago just went, you know, I'm gonna send this. You know, it's my chance to shine.
Yeah.
And I think he really was impressive. You know, he didn't get through, but he came close to getting some giant waves. And I thought it was just a ballsy effort. Pardon the pun, yeah.
No, definitely. If you get the wild cards, you see the 2-turn combo from the surfer in white. If you get the wild card, you don't want to hold back. You just want to go as big, because it's everyone's watching. It's the WCT. It's the city. Everyone's watching. It's the World Tour. The best surfers are on the beach, and you want to perform. Even if you lose, if you perform, you're gonna feel a little bit better, but with yourself.
Absolutely. I remember way back in the day, I was showing my age, but you know, when Jeremy Flores got a wild card into the Quicksilver Pro France, and he was only 16, just turned 16.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't know. I mean, I knew he was an incredible young surfer, and he paddled out on one of those 10-foot Le Gravier days and just packed into a 10-foot closeout.
Yeah, I remember.
And everyone was just like, "Whoa, this!" You know, it was
It's
just a
different.
sign that he's got something different. That he was, you know, you couldn't, you know, he was there for the long run. I mean, if Thiago can, in any way, shape, or form, mimic any of Jeremy's success, to be amazing. But yeah, it was a really impressive performance, and hopefully he'll take that into this event. He's number one on the rankings. I think Carly is second, and lock in that spot for the Challenger Series, which starts in Australia, not too far away. Up Snapper Rocks,
it's getting closer.
Just a chance to surf at Snapper with 4 people out is some type of dream. As we see, that's Cornet going for a bit of a spin to win. And losers.
Let's go for a break in 20 seconds.
Yeah, so much
19,
action to come. Challenger
18,
Series spots
17,
up for grabs.
16.
And some big
15.
surfers coming in throughout the course of the day. We're going to go to a short commercial break and come back with more live action from the qualifying series here at Caparica just after this.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to live action. We are on the southern shores of Lisbon, Costa de Caparica. We are into the second heat of this round. We kicked off this morning with some fun but small waves. More waves coming our way. My name's Ben Mundy. I'm joined in the booth by Portuguese ripper, Felipe Jervis. And, mate, we talk about the Portuguese push. Who are you sort of backing in this event? Who's you keep an eye on the young kids that are growing up and the older statesmen? Who do you expect to do well from Portugal?
Looking at the forecast, I'm going to put Vasco's name up there because he's always dangerous. He's dangerous in any conditions, but with bigger waves, it's always a menace. There's definitely a new generation coming of kids in Portugal, and they just there's so many guys just trying to get some results done and trying to put their names on the line here on the regionals. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. There's a few kids. We have Francisco Ordonhas. He's a really good surfer as well. Martin Nunes. There's plenty of kids from the new generation. They want to improve and they want to get better. And also, I was almost forgetting about Gui Ribeiro. Guilherme Ribeiro is a local, one of the best surfers ever coming out from Costa de Caparica, and he's ripping. He just won the first stop of the national tour, so he's pretty confident and he's really close to get on those top 7, top 10 for the Challenger Series. So he knows he needs to go big on this one and get a big result so he can guarantee a spot on the Challengers. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see the Portuguese surfers. We have a few of them here on the first round as well. It's going to be pretty interesting because, you know what, the local knowledge always helps a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, it all counts when you know the banks, know the conditions. Such a hotbed of talent, this country. Surfing's been just showing strength to strength, as we've seen already with the world's eyes up there on the CT event just held in March, and really staked its little corner as a real important part of the whole surfing infrastructure. And so many great surfers coming out, and no wonder. There's so many good waves, so consistent. It's accessible, all types of waves, from learners to massive slab, every type of wave you could ever dream of. And we'll see how they've been faring on. Now, with 5 minutes to go, we'll have a quick look at this recap. Philippe, it's been this man has led the charge.
Yeah, he's been showing something different. His speed and power, as you see here, a couple of really nice turns on these conditions, which if you surf with speed, the judges will love it. As we see here on a little left, dealing with that backwash, but surfing really well, really sharp. And he has been the standout on this heat, and also the big man. This guy is actually getting some of the best waves that actually came on this heat. He has been surfing pretty well, but his wave selection has been on point. So it's going to be pretty interesting as we see a claim from the surfer in white. Let's see if something changes.
Yeah, he was happy with it. You can't always judge a wave by its claim.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But he looked happy. Doesn't need
yeah, that's
doesn't
the
need big
thing.
numbers, so that's probably part of the reason why. We'll see here through it. Out the back, little right-hander, first turn in the pocket,
Wow.
another turn in the pocket, and a little cut back, and doesn't finish it off, or does he? Just waits for a tiny little section, and last little dig, but he liked it. Well, the judges will be interesting as he just comes around the corner. So it's Scopper. He too is in the mix. Goofy foot up, trying to fight back. Just kicks out with 3.5 minutes to go. DeSantos looks safe. It's that battle for second place, which we're going to see all out throughout the rest of the week. And this wave here, talk us through it, Philippe.
Oh, look how fun it is. Just coming up right behind the section and hit it really hard on the first one, and then a couple of series of cutbacks. Nothing too major, but it might be right there on the mix because it's a low-scoring affair here, so it doesn't need too much to be up there on the second place. So we'll see. It's going to be pretty interesting to see the judges. I was thinking, looking at Surfer in White, he actually turned the hit around. He went all the way second. Sometimes it's easier to fabricate scores on your backhand when it's this small, because it's always easier to put the board more vertical and put a bit more spray on the turns, and the judges obviously they love that, and sometimes it's a little easier to be on your backhand. But yeah, we have Duchantos. He has been surfing on his forehand as well, but surfing really well. But yeah, nice for Cormac. He actually went to second place.
Yeah, the claim was well warranted. Moved up into
4.4.
second place with a 4.4. So the backhand working there for Cornac. Now Scopper needing a 3.91. He's in fourth priority. He's moved away from his competitors. You'll see there that some surfers looking a bit further to the north. And then Scopper in fourth place, or fourth priority, I should say. Just trying to get away, and hopefully one comes up with 2 minutes on the clock, only needing a 3.91. Which is, gettable. Absolutely. You see the colour of the water, the conditions. Such a lovely blue. These offshore breezes just kicking in, due to hold all week. So we're going to get used to this. It's going to be blue. It's going to be clean.
It's going to be warm. It's going to be sunny. Yeah, it should be fun. I'm pretty excited because I was looking at the forecast yesterday, and it's going to be really consistent. And that's what you need for a contest. It's to have those conditions. Obviously, you need to scrap around a few smaller waves on the first round. But if you want to be there with the top guys and surf the good waves, you need to get through these kind of conditions. And it's gonna be. I'm pretty psyched.
Yeah, absolutely.
We might get a surf around as well.
Yeah,
Ben?
absolutely, absolutely.
We'll try to find a corner for ourselves.
Yeah, we'll find a corner, mate. Don't worry about that. Yeah, no, it's everyone's really buzzing on it, and it's great. Surf competitions, to a degree, can live or die by the waves we've got, and yeah, it's looking positive, which is great news. Good news for the organisers. Don't have to push through, or you bit of downtime with the tides aren't right. Just give everyone as much opportunity as absolutely possible. And this is a man here, Scopper. Well, he needs an opportunity now. It's clean, all right, but he's seen something out the back, potentially 20 seconds on the clock. Starts the motor. He's seen a wave. This is going to be his last throw at it. This could be his last wave of the event, or it could be his chance to make a move. Here he goes. First turn, a little bit safe. Comes around the corner, gets it up high. Still got speed, and so far hasn't been able to really do any damage on that. Had a lot of wobble coming his way, and I think that might be the end of Scopper's heat today. Young kid, will gain experience, but I don't think Jervis, he just did quite enough on this one.
Yeah, as you said, he played a little safe on that one. Here a bit stronger, but he needed to finish this one off, unfortunately. But it was a hard wave to surf because the wave came sideways. But he needed to explode on that first turn to actually get a bigger score. And he also needed to finish this one. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough, but we'll see what the judges thought of that.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get it. And you can see by his sort of worried young face that he doesn't think he's going to get it either. And he just paddling in. Knows that was his chance. He fought to the end. That kid there, Dos Santos, he was very, very impressive. One to watch. Really confident, really sharp, really fast. And Dylan Donegan Dos Santos, which is one of the better names in surfing at the moment, has gotten through. Great to see him surf again. Hugo Cornac, he was under the pump. He came through.
Breaking 20.
And unfortunately for Michelle Scopper and Casper Haminga, they are not going to progress through. They're going to have another fun week of free surfing in Caparica. As we see Dos Santos, well, this is what he was doing.
Wow.
Just absolutely electric. We're going to go to a break and come back with more live action at the Caparica Surf Fest 2023 right after this.
Twenty seconds. 15. Drone. Then intercom.
The early morning sunshine. Joining myself, Paul Evans, to talk you all through it. Philippe Jervis. Had a little glimpse of the action so far this morning, mate. Enjoying it?
Yeah, it's a really clean day, really fun.
That's
yeah,
shirts going here.
We're kind of matching.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone at home.
Going camping, maybe a little hike.
Boil
a pot of coffee over an
a
open
little
fire.
fishing as well.
Cowboy style. Yeah. All sorts of fun could be had.
It's fun out there. It's super fun conditions. Small, sunny and warm. It's gonna be a pretty fun week.
And obviously, at this stage, we got a lot of surfing yet to come. But so far, just in terms of what we've seen, go fast, hit the lip, seems to be the order of the day.
Yeah, it usually is. That's what the judges want. They want to see you surf fast and do some strong turns and maybe go for the air, because normally in these conditions, if you go for the air, it means that you're getting some speed. If you're getting some speed, the judges love speed, love power, and the transitions in between turns. That's the secret to get high scores.
An Israeli, a Spaniard, and 2 Italians take to the water. Of course, 4 men in these heats to advance. Then a quick paddle early on and a swing. Bang. Quick hit off the top. It is a really small wave from Caruso. Bang. Gets the finish done. More arm movement than board movement, perhaps. I think that will be a modest number.
Yeah, there's so many Italians. You see, out of nowhere, it feels like they're really trying to improve on their surfing community. As we see, White up and riding. Another Italian. Not Giovanni. Yeah, Giovannoni is probably Italian.
Giovannoni certainly is Italian. Here goes Amir.
The
And
Israeli.
he's powerful. He's hitting it a couple of times on the backhand, giving it a swing, and we can expect multiple reps out here. It's a real short paddle. It does seem to be a little range in the sets. You've got those smaller ones on the shallow sandbar. Every now and again, there's a bit of bomb. Maybe like double that size of the ways we just saw, but certainly just finding the runners, really. Find opportunities to crack the lip.
Yeah, as you see here, the surfer in red. 3-turn combo, nothing too major, but good to fill the board and good to put something on board as well, because you need that wave was really good actually. He had a lot of potential. So you need to find those corners. This was a 4.1. This wave was kind of weird because you're gonna see here that side wash just comes against a lot of speed. He could have gone a bit bigger on that one, but still at 4.1, it has been enough to get through some heats if you get a couple of fours. So let's see about this one.
Let's go and hear from the winner of the last heat, standing by for a chat. Loving the Bradley. The one model, I believe. High performance model. Not usually for small waves, but a few tweaks there. I like it. Looks like it's going good.
It was sharp, it was fast, and the fastness in between transitions, you could see he didn't lose any speed whatsoever. So it looked really good. I think he needs to hold on that magic board.
Okay, we're on the QS right now, Philippe. You could say this is the third tier of professional surfing. You get out the QS, you get the challengers. You get the challengers, you get the CT, and you get Bells, which could start tonight, which is tomorrow in Australia.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Have you done your team, mate? Your fantasy team? You locked it in?
Yep. I did my fantasy already.
Would you like to any insights to share? What are you thinking?
Oh, no, I'm keeping a secret because all the kids that I coach, they're watching right now, and then I cannot tell my secrets.
Have you looked at
Because I have a group with them, and I'm leading the group.
You can give us some clues. Have you looked at the forecast?
Yeah, it has. I was watching while having breakfast, and it looks like it's gonna be clean and small for the first days, and then we gotta have a bigger.
Has that affected your selections for your team?
Not really, because
okay.
Because that first round and second round, you can still move some parts, even if someone loses or something like that. But no, I'm looking at the finals day.
If I say a surfer's name, can you indicate to me whether you've picked them or not? Can we do it that way?
Okay.
Is that what we're gonna do?
Okay.
Shall I see if I can? I'll see if I can guess who I think you've got. In the meantime, let's check out Garcia going fast. What's he got for us here? Oh, nicely done. Gets the spin, clicks it around. I like it.
Yeah, it was pretty technical by Garcia, and as I said, if you manage to do this, it's not going to be the hugest score, but it's going to be it's going to be something on the board, and it's going to be something you'll hold on probably.
For the benefit of the viewer, I'm going to say the names of CT surfers, and Philip Jervis, who doesn't want to give away his team, I'm going to try and read the reaction on his face. Ethan Ewing.
Of course.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure 99% of people who ask fantasy is going to choose Ethan Ewing.
Not giving too much away there. Due a result as well. Let's check the replay here.
What? He almost lost it there, but he held on really well. So nice little fin thrower, bit of an air. Nothing too big, but still pretty technical. He hold on that one, so fun.
What's your view on the goofies, the backsiders at Bells? What's your stance on the goofies, so to speak?
I usually put someone in there, Ital or Medina, because they always do something everywhere.
Yep.
But this time, nah, I'm going for Philippe. Yeah, Philippe is gonna.
No love for Yago Dora.
I love Yago. Yago is one of my favorite surfers, but and he's gonna. I need to recap because I did the team already.
Like maybe the end section, he's got some stuff as well. He can do backhand there, show something a little different.
Yeah, no, Yago. And what do you think about Owen? Is he doing any good as a wild card? He's really good at bells, but I don't think I'm gonna check, but I don't think I have any goofy footers on my.
Controversial.
Yeah, Conor O'Leary is always dangerous on his backhand as well.
Good, isn't he? He's on form as well. He's
Yeah.
surfing really well. He is hammering it. His timing's sweet. How about Caroline Marks, Tatjana Weston-Webb?
I put Caroline. But yeah, my tier A surfer on the girls is gonna be Molly Picklum.
Okay.
Because I think she has a different carve.
And do you just pick surfers you think you're going to do best, or do you try and pick surfers that others don't have? Because obviously, if everyone picks the same,
No. I pick surfers that I think they're gonna do really well, because you don't need one to win and all the others to lose on the first round.
Yeah.
To get some good points, you need all those surfers that go all the way to the quarterfinals, semifinals. I'm thinking about that. I was looking at my tier, and the tier C, it's not easy. This contest, all the boys, I don't know who to choose. I already did it. I put Kelly Slater and Zeke Lau, because I think Zeke, if you get through that first round on smaller waves, he's going to do really well with bigger waves. And I also put Kelly Slater, but I'm not sure if he even going to Australia or not. Probably.
Yeah,
I think
he'll
so.
be there.
Yeah.
Garcia ripped that wave. Looked light on his feet. Really like it. Shifting weight front foot to the back foot. Let's get another look.
Fun little right-hander, waiting on the bottom. Nice little snap on the first turn, and then nice little drop. Drawn out carve.
Almost looking a little bit Gonny-esque there. Some of those
Oh
turns.
yeah, it looks like Gunny. The arm positioning, yeah, the body positioning had a little bit of Gunny on it. Is it Gunny? He's gonna compete on this challenge?
I sure hope so. As if he doesn't, it'll be heartbreak, certainly in the studio. No, he's. I mean, I can't imagine the future without him.
Without Gunny, it's
I hope
gonna be
he's here.
weird. No, having no European contest without Gunny.
Yeah, that can't happen. We can't allow that to happen. Let's keep him around.
But you're saying you're number one in the world?
Yeah.
Seriously?
It might be a rival fantasy format, though. There are other alternatives. Obviously, I do the World Turf League one.
Okay.
But sometimes that's just not enough.
Okay.
Yeah, there's another format.
Oh, there is?
Fantasy surf sessions.
Okay.
But yeah, mate, I'm winning.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, I win a trip to the Ments, I think.
That's good. As we see, White up and riding. The surfer from Italy, nice little snap. And then another one. A lot of potential on this wave. He finished this one off. Unfortunately, didn't do anything too special. But yeah, he puts a number on the board and gets right back in the mix with 12 minutes remaining pole.
It's a beautiful Monday morning in Portugal. If you're one of those people that doesn't like Mondays, just tune in to Caparica Surf Fest and check this out. The lightness on the feet, the spring in the step, and a glorious future awaits. 2 surfers from this heat who can make it through. Getting caught up with replays. A lot of speed. We got any maneuvers?
Wow. So technical. His body position is really good. His arms are really good as well. He actually went down to the second place. Went out to second place, Caruso. We have in third place the surfer in white with a couple of 2s, and in fourth place this surfer.
Here goes Yossi Amir, backhands. A little sticky, and he's got that awkward wobble, which makes the wave look fun for us, but terrible to surf him.
It's
It
hard,
just
yeah.
keeps it deep in front of him, and that might be a feature as we see this tide swing throughout the day. Let's just pick up another paddle here from Giovannoni. Good speed from him. What's he got?
Oh,
A little clip off the top, got a little bit off the tail.
a little bit of a drift in there.
Yeah, what? Optimum tides out here, we're thinking mid generally. Chico said he liked the high. Mid generally favorable, right?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have that little push when the tide gets higher. It's already getting higher. I think we're gonna have that push on the swell. It always does like that in Portugal. You always get the extra swell coming in with the tide getting higher, and we're gonna have a high tide around 2 p.m., 2:20 p.m. It's the tide range is not that big. 2.7 with the high tide it's kind of big, but I think we're gonna have fun conditions throughout the whole day until the high tide, and then maybe we're gonna wait a little, and when the tide starts dropping off again, it should be fun.
We kicked off this morning just after the low. We've had a couple of hours almost since then, so mid-tide in around about an hour. Here goes your heat leader, Garcia. Look at the speed. He looks real light on his feet. This board looks great. A little bit of a wider nose outline. It's working well in the face here, stabs it a couple of times, and he just looks like he's got a little extra gear of speed, a little bit more power and flow as well. It looks great.
Yeah, this wave, it was a really good wave, but it didn't need to do this. See that floater? He could have used that section to do a proper turn instead of doing a floater, because he didn't actually rode the lip, but to get a bigger score. And this wave, also a lot of speed. He almost made a bit of a mistake here, but I like this one, the fin drift. Yeah.
Is that going to be deemed complete?
Nah, not really.
No, I'm not sure it is.
I don't think it is.
They're real sticklers for that, aren't they?
Yeah, they're ruthless. You have to make sure you're right in front of the white.
On that, let's get you on this. Italo's barrel.
Here in
Subos.
Peniche?
Yeah. Was
It's
it
a no-make.
It's a no-make.
Yeah, for me, it's a no-make.
Okay, interesting.
He didn't show. He showed control by like in a millisecond, but right after that he got exploded by the wave, and I don't think it's a no. I think it's a no-make. For me, that hit, Iago was the word. Obviously, Italo got that 9 point something on a really good wave, but I don't think that was a make. As we see here, surfing blue again, going for the air. Unfortunately, this time goes
He came
down.
out of the tube though, right? He emerged from the tube, then he fell off. He got blown up from below, didn't he? It wasn't like the lip landed on him. He came out, and then the explosion got his board. I could see that one going either way.
Yeah.
I think with an air, you need to actually ride out in front of the white water, because
the barrel is
your
different.
momentum,
Yeah, the barrel is different.
you need to
Yeah.
control. But I mean, what do we want to see? Surfers come out the tube and then do like the Duke stance, ride straight in like Waikiki style. Like how long
Probably,
do we
yeah,
need them
that-
to when?
I don't think there's like 3 seconds or a second.
I thought that was harsh. I understood why he would feel aggrieved. At the same time, I understand why it wasn't a no-make. I just think one of those ones could have gone either way. It wasn't an obvious no-make for me.
Yeah, it's not obvious, but it's not obvious that it's a make as well. As you see, it could have gone either way, and someone will always feel with a bit of an injustice feeling, because if the judges counted that he made it, the Iago will say, nah, he didn't made it.
The bit that seems harsh is it goes from being an 8 to a 1.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Yeah.
can we not find some way between and go,
yeah.
okay, it wasn't technically a make, we'll give you 50% of the
I
number.
understand. Yeah.
It felt like more than a 1.
No,
Just
it's not a 1.
well, I mean, it was.
It
That's what he
was,
got.
yeah, but it's not. Yeah,
But
I understand what you're saying. As
Yeah,
you see here.
that's the part
Oh.
that feels harsh. Let's check out Garcia again. He's throwing buckets of spray. Even the little Goni head flick as well at the end. I like his style. I like his technique. Nesta Garcia.
No, and he has been getting some of the best waves off this heat, so this one was really good. 3 power turns. It's not easy to throw that much spray on this condition, so it means he's doing something right. We're waiting for the replay on that one and also the score.
Just found the rhythm from the get-go in this heat. Here he is again. Let's get another look.
Just got on the bank so well. A couple of really nice snaps, and the third one, and another one. So not much of a bottom turn on that wave, but yeah, that's the thing about smaller waves. If you do a bigger bottom turn, sometimes you can lose speed, and
Bang.
he actually did pretty well, just going from the top to bottom, non-stop until the end. So it should be a nice score. I'm interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what the judges thought of that, because he didn't use the whole wave. He was kind of...
He kept it in the pocket.
Yeah, no bottom turn, just putting the board there. It throws a lot of spray, but sometimes it's not those round surfing, you know. Just you use the whole wave and use the whole wall of the wave. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
He maximized the potential of the
Yeah.
wave, let's say that. For what the wave offered, he couldn't have done a lot more with it. Let's check out live action here of Giovannoni. A little soft and light on his feet. He'll clip away. Looking to get out of 4th right now.
3 very similar turns and finishing it off not too strong. So I don't think that's gonna change anything on the situations. When we see a couple of lines out the back, there's still plenty of swell. There's still plenty of opportunities, Paul.
Yeah, and it should pick up a touch throughout the day. We checked out the forecast earlier this morning, and looks like swell is going to fill in a bit throughout the afternoon. Tomorrow again, jumps up a touch, and then into Wednesday. So swell, hopefully, for us all week. Let's check out Amir. Good deep bottom turn. Bang, big hit, and gets, crucially, a second turn. Gets that little double up section for the completion as well. That's much better from him. He only needed a 2. Meanwhile, your heat leader still went for his previous. He's got speed again. Covers some ground with a functional floater. Doesn't get back on the open face, though. But he's looked good value. And when this score comes in for his previous to that, I think he's going to extend his lead here.
Oh, definitely. He's getting some of the best waves of this year, and that's why he's on the front and showing the best surfing as well. That's why he's in first place. So it's gonna be interesting because all the other 3 surfers are super tight. 4.83 for Giovannoni, also 4.83 for Amir, and 5.13 for the surfer in second place. As we see here, the board looks really fast. Even on this, just on this floater, you can see how fast the board is. And this 2-turn combo, what do you think, Paul? The first one was pretty good.
Yeah, a little adjustment, quick adjustment on the front foot to make sure he got the combo done. Again, you think about scoring potential of a wave and like maximize it. Hits it pretty hard and goes up for a second maneuver. I don't think it's going to be as good as the previous to last from Blue. Which I think could be a healthy number. It's a great looking wave here from the entry. This is nice.
This is a different one. As we see, he's gonna a little layback. That's probably the best wave of the surfer in white. This 2-turn combo, it's actually pretty nice. Nice snap, just throwing a bit of a fin and then straight into a nice carving. The wave kind of died on him here, but he finished it off. So the judges, even though it's not a strong finishing turn, it's still safe, but make sure he finishes. So he's back in the mix.
Giovannoni.
It's a 3.46, so
yeah,
it's obtainable. Huh?
The beginning of that wave gave him a load of speed, didn't he? Got his little high line in early, gave him speed for that first snap. It looked great. Lines coming in, just over 2.5 on the clock. Garcia, we're still waiting for numbers for him. He's got a couple to drop in. Priorities with Caruso, needs to make a move. He's looking for a small number right now, the surfer in green. Prior to that last exchange coming in, Amir, good chance of improving the goofy. And he's having a sniff here. Meanwhile, here goes Garcia again. He's up and going. He's caught a lot of waves, been busy. Carves on a rail. And then he'll go and flare up and get a rotation. A little awkward with that side wave washing through. Incomplete from him, but I just like the look of him. He's been busy, he's been proactive, he's been aggressive, explosive when he needs to be, like on his feet. He's ticking a lot of boxes.
Yeah, and trying different stuff. You know, I've been seeing just risking it a little bit more than the others, going for the air, and obviously, as we see, Giovannoni actually changed the situation, 3.87 on that last one, so now he's in second. So it's still so tight. There's 1.5 minutes remaining. Every surfer can go from last to first easy. Well, maybe Garcia is a bit farther away from the other guys, but that battle for the second place is going to be super tight until the next 90 seconds.
Amir in second, prior. Caruso with first priority. They're looking for threes. They'll need to be, well, the best number from Caruso and almost equal to the best of Amir. Little opportunity coming through.
He's looking at something. There's a wave behind. It needs a 3.25, so that's not...
the spread from our surfers there, just heading to all different parts of this bank, trying to find something in this final 45 seconds. Green with the priority. He's going to use it here. Caruso doesn't need a big number, and he's going looking for 3.75. Opening turn. has a swing. It's flat on the face and it's a bit lateral. And then there's this wobble coming through. We do have a sort of a deep gully in between this sandbar and the one on the inside. It will connect to the inside later, but we're a few hours away from that. Didn't see 375 on that.
Nah, the wave didn't have that wall that he needed to attack and explode, and those side washes are so hard, especially if you don't have any speed. This was actually a pretty nice first turn, but here, as you see, he doesn't have any speed and he has to battle away from all those side washes. It's not easy. It didn't allow him to go big on that last turn. That could have made a difference.
Caruso will remain in fourth and be eliminated from competition at this stage. If he's hanging around in town, he's got all sorts of free surf opportunities up and down this beach. Great banks and a nice swell forecast. This guy, he looked great. Surfed really well, had the speed, found the best waves, made sure he was on them. And he'll take a little bit of confidence with him through to the next rounds. Nestor Garcia, let's make it official. A decent total from him, and he'll take Brando Giovannoni along with him. Those two advance as we're just having a look at a little victory lap from Nestor Garcia. Bring this in, a little debrief from his cam. More live action to bring you from the Caparica Surf Fest. It's a beautiful morning in Portugal. We'll be right back after the break.
I got it right? Yeah. No way.
Welcome back to the Caparica Surf Fest. It's the thrust and parry of QS competition back in Portugal. Final event of the season. As we look to send surfers to the Challenger Series, let's check out Diogo Martins, Alvarez Tiano, Stock and Saulo. As we see three Portuguese surfers and a Brazilian who spends a lot of time over in Portugal, to Saulo. Joining me, Paul Evans, now, Chico Alves. Hello, mate.
Good morning. As we see Diogo Martins starting it off this heat, he has a really good backside. What a great heat to watch. Eloy, he lives in Porto, where I live now, so I know he's really good. Alan Saulo, we've seen him creating some major upsets last year.
Got on a roll, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a couple of good heats here, so...
Fire in his belly.
I think he lives here. I think he lives here, or he lived here for a while. And yeah,
if he doesn't, he should do. He should move here tomorrow. There he
As you
is.
see him paddling really hard for this wave. What a good paddler Alan Saulo is. And yeah, Tiago Stock, up-and-coming kid from Portugal. And yeah, as we see here, Blue up and riding.
Chico, I don't think it's too early to get into this, mate. We're going to revisit this topic a lot this week, but let's just check out Saulo flying down the line.
Starting where he left off last year, eh?
With the tail. Loving it. Mate, Chico, I need to ask, mate, what's your secret? How come you're looking so svelte and lean and mean and just awesome? What have you been doing, mate?
This year.
Yeah. What's your training?
I
what's your training
think
secret?
we had like a conversation last year in
Yeah.
October during
Yeah.
the event in Ericeira.
I want to know now what's
the Vizsla Ericeira Pro.
Yep.
Today we are in Caparica, 6 months later. As you see the replay, I'm gonna go back to that just after this blowtail from Alan.
Is it
Solo.
surfing? Have you been surfing a lot? Is that what it is? It's
No,
not
I just
that.
changed my whole. Wow, really good snap
Whoa.
and another one, and yeah, Diogo, he has a vicious backside, and I love when.
I hope you're not going to tell me you've cut out the cakes, because I will be heartbroken. Have you stopped eating cakes?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god. No. Why?
I was just too fat, mate. It was enough.
You've cut them out completely?
Yeah,
Like, no, none?
none.
When's the last time you had a pastel de nata?
6 months ago.
Shut up.
I'm not even kidding.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, I just started training every day, and I started eating well. And yeah, I just felt it was, I don't know, I just felt I was close to the 30s, mate.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think I can play around with my health too long. And as we see Alan there with the
Do you
blow
sometimes
top.
just buy one and sniff it a bit and then put it back? Or?
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done it like just a little bite and then throw it away. But yeah, and it stays on the taste on the mouth. But yeah, I just feel like I feel way better now. I lost
Yeah.
like around 10 kilos. So
Hey, you look amazing.
thank you, Paul. You
Yeah.
look amazing too, but
Yeah.
you never actually
Hey,
looked
you know.
bad before. So you're looking just like
It's a consistent sort of
yeah,
5.5,
you're consistent. You're consistent.
5.77. Let's go down and hear from someone who didn't get 5.77s but ripped and got good scores. Winner of the last heat is standing by for a chat.
Yeah, Paul, that's right. Congratulations. You're in the next round. How did that feel?
Thanks. Really good to pass the heat, and yeah, really happy. And yeah,
The scores today aren't that amazing. What do you think is missing?
I don't know, but I think the score was perfect because I think I got 4.5 and a 4.3. Yeah, really happy.
Do you want to say anything in Spanish to your friends back home?
Sí, que muchas gracias a todos los que estáis viendo ahí en casa. Un abrazo a mi familia, a mis amigos y nos vemos en la siguiente ronda. Seguimos motivados, está todo correcto y a ver si podemos seguir pasando mangas y haciendo entrevistas, que eso quiere decir que he quedado primero. Muchas gracias.
There you go. Paul, you can translate that back to you.
Yeah, and muchas gracias, Joanna. Great stuff there from Néstor Garcia's ripping.
Yeah, I think he surfed really well last year too.
He's good.
He's good.
We were just saying with Philippe, looks a bit like Goni. A little bit.
He uses the arms a lot to put some expression into his turns. And sorry, I made a mistake. Eloy, the Eloy I was talking about, is not this one. So I don't know his
mistake,
second
mate,
and
mate.
last name. I just know his first. But I know it's Eloy Alvarez too. So yeah, mate, my mistake. It's not the same guy.
Stuck.
But yeah, as we see, White up and riding, trying to generate speed to attack the lip and couldn't find it.
Next question for you, mate. Have you had to change your boards then? Have you gone thinner? Have you gone
Yeah.
a little less volume?
I was with.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, I did. So I
You
just,
were on 3.5 inches thick.
I
now
just
you...
got a new batch of boards.
Yeah.
8 boards from Single Quiver, which is a Spanish online surf shop, and they made me a couple boards. And yeah, 30 liters now, mate. I was on 33,
Whoa.
so I went down.
What's Medina on?
Normal with age, you go up.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do
What's Medina on liters? He
I
must
don't
be
know.
on more
I think
than
he's
30.
like 30. I think
31?
he's 29,
Okay.
31.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
around that. He likes a lot of volume on his boards. He likes to-
Volume in the tail, right?
everywhere on his board. You see volume. Like his boards are box, and he likes to surf on top of the water, not too much like behind it.
Yeah.
He likes to take out speed instead of like needing to generate a lot of speed. So yeah, every time he surfs, you see him like trying to really
So basically, for your 30th birthday, you were hoping to go under 30 liters, essentially. Is that what you're telling me?
no,
And you've done it, mate. You were hoping to, and you've nailed it.
I think I'm gonna go with the 30 liters on my 30th birthday. Yeah, it's gonna feel great.
What about anything else changed? Board shorts? Have you had to reorder some of your stuff? Wetsuits? You dropped down a size? Has this been awkward for your wardrobe?
No, my trousers changes a lot. I'm using trousers of like 5 years ago, which feels weird, but they are new because I got fat real quick. So they're feeling great now. But yeah, the new ones from last year, they just feel really bad. They feel really wide. I feel a lot of space. I just feel me and you, we can wear that. So
Yeah.
maybe 3 legs in there.
Well,
And yeah, just follow your steps because I know you eat well. You're a vegetarian yourself, right?
sometimes let myself down with beers though in the evening, but yeah, you know,
Yeah, but
try and be healthy.
normally
try. Yeah.
you try all the time, right? I think at least if you try all the time, that's the first step to actually make it.
Yeah. And what about your surfing? You feel lighter, looser?
Yeah.
Or have you got worse? Throwing less
No,
spray?
I just feel it's a lot easier to paddle.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to paddle? In general, paddling is not fun.
Yeah.
And when you're heavier, paddling gets even harder.
Duck diving's easier though. When you're heavier.
Yes.
You can sink that forward.
The duck dive. As we see blue and green. Who's got priority here?
Great look from the drone. Saulo down the line. We'll follow him. What's he got here? Beautiful looking wave. He whips it. Gets a little caught. That side wobble is just chewing into this a touch, and it's not a big swell, so there's not loads of power coming in. And when you get that side wave off the wedge, can soften things up quick. Martin's already off to that great start though. The backhand attack from Diogo, who's been an exciting young prospect in Portugal for a while now.
Yeah, I just had a hit with him last week in the first national event, and he surfed really good. So yeah, Diogo is really consistent. When he gets good waves on his hits, he always puts some good scores on the board. And as we see here, up and riding, Eloy, great snap,
That's nice.
clean, and another one. So I really enjoyed the first one. Thought was a bit more aggressive. The last one was just like,
He waited on the bottom, didn't he?
yeah,
Like-
I just feel you really wanted to make the turn instead of really attacking that last section. As we see here, maybe now you can tell it's a bit more loose. You see how quick this back-to-back backside turns were. But yeah, he just looked a bit stiff on that last turn, but the first turn was beautiful. So it jumps into the first place, Eloy. And yeah, maybe now sometimes surfers, they get a little bit stiff on the first couple of waves of the event, and then they start to really get into the rhythm and the rhythm of the ocean too, and they get a bit more confident. So yeah, surfing is all about confidence.
Okay, just to wrap up on your wellness journey, chat. Top 3 tips for getting rid of dad bod. Cut out the
First one-
cakes. Number
No,
one.
cutting, not the cakes, cutting sugar. Okay, in general, you cannot eat sugar.
Okay, yep. Roger
Cutting all the,
Good advice.
how do you say, like Coca-Cola and all those drinks?
that. Yeah, well, the sugary drinks, basically.
But how
Yeah.
do you say there's like a proper name for?
I think that's it. Just sugary drinks, sodas. Yeah.
Yeah, just water
Okay.
and
Water
eat
at the
a
source.
lot of protein,
Mhm.
greens, and
And pump some serious iron in the gym.
yeah. No, like you need to train at least 30 minutes a day, but you need to train, not like talk on the phone. Like
Gym selfies, mirror selfie.
Not really, not really.
Yeah.
Now I see a lot of people like spending like hour and a half in the gym and not burning too much. And I think you gotta get there and do the work, not really just.
What about, has it had an effect on your followers? Have you seen your followers jump up on your Insta?
They're going down.
You got your
They're
strong,
going down.
your
They're
strong body.
saying, "Come on, where's the cakes at? You left me down now." Yeah, but like I've been having some really good ones.
40 minutes, 500 calories.
Yeah.
Like it. Just for the benefit of the viewers, we're looking at
And the
Chico's
watch.
smart watch equipment, wearable tech.
As we
Functional
see.
training. 47 minutes. Wow. Okay, so at least half hour.
Yeah, 30, 40
But
minutes,
the
it's
important
enough.
thing is regular. Better
Yeah.
off to do 10 minutes every day, though, than do 2 hours once a week and then do nothing for 2 weeks.
Exactly. You need to do every day. Even if it's 20 minutes, you just do it properly. You do like non-stop like exercises, and that's enough to really keep your body healthy and generate some muscle, because you need muscle to do everything in your life, especially when you have kids. It's weight everywhere, as we see Blue here on a really good way, and he's surfing really good. So Blue with the rhythm of the ocean now.
Nice exchange from the Goofies there. We saw Saulo first of all having a swing of the axe, and then Alvarez Diano right behind him, prodding that board up nice and vert. Let's get a look.
As we see, quick snap there, winds up off the bottom, nice snap. Really stylish surfing and well-connected wave. Nothing really major. It was just like really waiting off the bottom because the wave was slow. As we see Saulo here with a quick snap. Another one. You can tell he's a bit taller.
Different technique there. So we saw Blue, he's putting his arms up at the lip on the backhand bottom turn. Saulo's like arms down. Interesting.
Yeah, he winds up his turn with his front arm almost on his foot, which is sometimes on your backside really hard to do. And Blue, he surfs a bit more with the upper body over the shoulders, which is, yeah, it's just like the beauty of surfing. It's just like you can do the same turn, but in many different ways, and they all look good. So I think if you're a coach, you'd say Blue is a bit more on the right side of the technique, but Alain, at the end of his turn, he puts his arms up to rotate on the turn. So I think they're both surfing good. And
he's got that cool long hair as well for a little flick, for a bit of extra spray. Let's check out the speed here. It's Stock. He's going fast. Whoa, he lays into a big carving snap. I like that. And then he gathers the speed again and puts it into the lip. Decent.
You could tell he was angry on his head. When he stood up on that wave, his head was already pumping down the line. And you could tell he was angry for that big carve. So as you see here, the head tells it all. The head tells me everything. And here, bang, really good carve. Extended carve, which is beautiful, but really hard to do in these conditions because you need to generate speed after the carve. And he did really well to do this carve all the way around and actually getting space again to do just a quick snap there. Just a punctuation turn at the end, but the first carve looked really good all the way around. He made sure the turn was really from 1 to 10, a really healthy number, I think.
Here's Stock again. It really is a frenzy of QS action, and he goes the punt, collects, and gets it done. Nice and tail high. Where did that come from?
Well, yeah, that turn was really good again. I think he's in the rhythm now. He had that carve, felt good. Then he pedaled back out, and yeah, he was able to generate a lot of speed. And yeah, good throw tail reverse here. And I think this is going to be a good score because we haven't seen any airs today, and this was actually a really good air.
Threw down the carve, and then very next wave goes for
low tail.
Big air. I like it a lot. Here's Diogo Martins, uses priority, pushes hard, a little too hard. Wave goes soft, goes incomplete. And let's see where Stock's last couple of scores put him. Under 8 minutes to go in this one. A good heat. This is classic QS competition. All sorts going on.
It is, because Diogo Martins started off with a 6.33. We thought he was on the upper side of this heat. He was on the good side. Now he's a bit behind the pack because Eloy suddenly had 2 good waves. Alain Saulo too, he had a really fun wave. And now Stock is coming from behind with 7 minutes to go. With a great carve, I think he had a 4 something because he only had a 1 point on his total. And now with this air, maybe he's going to put something on the board too. Maybe he can jump into the 2nd place, I think. What do you reckon? You reckon it's enough, Paul?
I reckon he's got a really good chance.
As you see Diogo here.
Found himself wide. He got down the beach a bit, a couple of quick saves. He looks like he needs a backup, really. He's got a really good number, and he doesn't have a backup. Meanwhile, Stock, he's been busy. Look at the speed. And again, another one. Really nice. He loves it. Stands straight up as a little no-claim claim. And the judges will have to give that a number. This is a really fun heat.
What? That air was sick. I thought the first one was great, and this one was even better. I think he almost did like almost a full rotation at the end there. Really quick rotation. You see here Diogo just trying to do his backup, and Thiago from behind, hanging off this section, and no regrets. Bang!
Whoa.
That was some really good surfing from Thiago Stock. I don't know much about him. I haven't seen him surf too much. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm really surprised with his air technique. That was some really good technique there. As we see Blue here, with seamless surfing on his backside overall.
Oh, the fire. Oh, the double fist pump and the roar.
The climb on this wave. I think he's just trying to sell something to the judges, and
Boom.
I think he's trying to sell that backup score because he saw something from behind there from Thiago, and he felt the pressure.
I'm going to put it out there right now. Heat of the day.
Heat of
So
the day,
far,
yeah.
maybe even at the end of the day, this one is a great matchup. Everyone's up for this. We see airs, power, speed, taking on the lip. I love that aggressive paddle as well. Just put yourself already going sideways and trimming from your paddle. Going down the line with a ton of speed from Stock. He just wanted that section real bad and he got it. Let's check him out again. He has been on fire. Another big hit. Well, he gets himself back on the face. I thought he was going to get left behind. Doesn't get a second turn though. He's shown us loads. Meanwhile, a bit of fire now from Diogo Martins. Really nicely done. Puts it up vert and then gets a carve on the lip line to finish. So he's ridden 3 waves in real quick succession. Been looking for a backup for most of this heat. And he'll get something here. And the judges have got all sorts of numbers to crunch.
Good looking wave. Really quick first turn there. You need to really put his turn a bit like down the line to get the speed. The second turn was the best turn of this wave, and he put up a third snap there. So I think he's going to get his backup deal, which is something he really needed. And yeah, what a close hit this is, because I'm wondering where Thiago Stock is going to go.
For the highlights reel, we just showed this heat, basically.
Yeah,
just clip the whole thing up, just bung that up. That's your highlights of the day.
Yeah, this hit,
bang.
I just think they knew it was us on the booth watching, and they just tapped it up. As you see Blue with another great wave. Wow, this is great surfing. The waves just turn on this hit, and they're looking really fun.
It's clean
Small but fun.
and smooth. There's not loads of power on offer. I've been really impressed with how they're not getting bogged and not getting caught between sections. It feels like everyone's swinging from one turn to the next without losing any speed, which is crucial for good numbers. Nice little stretch there on the groin muscles.
As we see Ian Costa, he lives in Caparica, which is
Tripped last year as well, wasn't he?
yeah, he
Threw down some airs.
He's really good in the air. I think he's watching Thiago Stock surfing. He's probably looking to do the same. As we see Thiago Stock jumping into the lead.
Massive,
airs.
huge. 12.4, his total at 20. Massive solo now. Somehow he's in 4th and he needs to get going. There's a turn from him. And again, that's nice. Well, and he'll get it again and he'll like this. Solo trying to get out of 4th and having a good old crack of the whip. Martins now in 3rd in a spot of bother. He's not a long way back from Sassy, but he needs a number. Really entertaining clash. Thiago Stock, the surprise package. Didn't know loads about him. We've been really impressed. The carving, the airs, bit of everything. Most of all, just the aggression to compete. He looks like he's really in this. He wants to go through the next round. He wants it real bad. All right, priority with Martins, and he uses it. A little soft opening turn. This wave is slow P. It's not what he wants. And he needs to go into the lip here. And he gets a bit of a weird angle on that time. Meanwhile, this guy, Stock, the busy bee. Just the drift on the carving snap. He's got a nice repertoire. This board looks razor sharp. He's just surfing so fast, Chico.
Yeah, you can tell he's fired up. I think this is probably his best hit on his career. I can tell. because
This is the best heat of our careers. This is just been
yeah, the our
wicked.
careers too as
Loving it, mate.
commentators.
Loving this.
But I can tell he's just like stoked. He's on the QS. He's in Portugal, surfing in front of his home crowd, and yeah, he's just throws 2 huge airs on his heat. So it might be feeling really good as we see Blue here. Wow, great backside surfing. Wow,
What? Stop it.
This was, I think, Blue's best wave so far. So
he's been ripping as well. This has been an absolute banger of a heat. I would almost say all of these guys would have got through most of the other heats we've seen today. Even surfers in 3rd and 4th, decent chance. This wave went a little soft, didn't it, for Diogo?
yeah, I think he got a bit. Oh, this layback was massive too from Thiago. Yeah, I think it's just you can tell Diogo is a bit nervous now. I think he's in 3rd, he needs a score, and he saw that wave, and maybe he made just a bit of a mistake as we see Alan Saulo here with the 3 connection turn, and really good surfing by Alan too. So I'm excited.
I love the flow from Saulo. He always brings that. Oh, look out. Another punt from Stock. Won't add to his total there. Last 30 seconds. We don't want this one to end. We're waiting for numbers come through. Martins and Saulo, crucial numbers, because they're the surfers at the moment heading for elimination. Saulo has done his best. He's on the inside. He's still looking for a score. It needs to be a pretty decent one. He needs to go up near the 6s, I think. Don't think we saw that on those multiple backhand maneuvers. They were good. Don't think we saw 6s on it, though. Last chance maybe for Martins. A small wave. He's got to go it. Looks like he got up before the horn. A first hit. Still swinging away. It's a little slopey in terms of the energy this wave, and he'll know it. Let's see where it puts him. Meanwhile, we'll see. Whoa, almost a prone tube from Thiago Stock. Almost got the head dip as he brings it in. 767 is high number. That was huge. The big, almost a full rotation, I would say, on that air. Showing us a couple of those fast calves as well. Can't wait to see him in the next round.
Yeah, well-deserved win by Thiago Stock. What a great performance by him. That air was sick. I would love to watch it again, but yeah. Bit of frustration lost there for Diogo Martins. He's a really good surfer, and yeah, Alan Saulo, a great standout from last year, bowing out just on the first round. So big surprises early morning today, and great surfing.
Straight elimination on the QS. It's brutal. There's no reseeding and come back from an elimination round. You finish 3rd or 4th, you're gone. And 2 surfers advance, 2 bow out. We're just waiting to confirm that Martins is the number really that could be the crucial one in terms of that score line. He sees just 0.1 of a point back overall from Sassy, surfer in blue, who ripped that on his back. And I think, have we got another number to come in also for Sassy? In which case, that could make the requirement even more difficult for Martins. Judging his...
I think Blue got his best wave actually on that last one. So
Blue ripped that. I mean, the backhand maneuvers, we talked about his technique and how different it was from Saulo. Goes to first, 733 and the 613. So Martins' requirement now is to best Thiago Stock, which I'm not sure he's going to do, or need, what, a high 5 basically for his last wave? Oh, he needs a 6. Go.
I think they are watching the Diogo Martins 3-turn wave.
I bet the judges are knackered, aren't they?
Yeah.
They must be tired. They'll be needing some cakes and a little coffee or a cup of tea just to keep the concentration up, because they had their work cut out in that heat. Been furiously tapping numbers away. This guy ripped it out there on that swallowtail epoxy. Looks like light board. You need it today. There's not loads of power in the ocean. Let's check Diogo Martins. Looking for a 6 on this, Chico.
Well, I think they are re-watching this one and the wave before of Diogo Martins. I don't know if the score came up already, but yeah,
like a 6. So
no, this one is not for sure a 6. I don't think so. From the surfing we've seen, as we see White here.
Come on, I thought he was going to do an ARS then. An air roll spin.
And Thiago is just like being congratulated by his mate.
Yeah.
His mate just saying, mate, what happened there? What a air.
There it is, official So Eloy Sassi smashing it, 13.46, massive. Thiago Stott, great total from him, 12.4 out of 20. A smoker of a heat, unfortunately, will lose the Goofies in Martim and Saulo. We'll go to a quick commercial break soon. It's a lovely Monday morning in Portugal. The waves, they're coming up. Tide's coming in too. Sun's out, winds offshore. We're going to bring Ben Mundy into the studio to talk you through the red-hot QS action. Stay tuned.
I got it right? Yeah. No way.
Welcome back to the sunny shores of Costa de Caparica. Look at that viewpoint there, the golden sands, the blue skies. The guys playing football on the beach, having a great time. The surfers in the water. Ben Mundy in the booth, joined by Chico Alves. It looks like I might have missed a bit of a cracker of a heat, did I there, Chico?
Yeah, what a heat we had, me and Paul. We had a really good heat to watch.
Or just you two?
Yeah, just
so
a man on man.
Your kind of thing, was it?
Yeah, it just came late, mate. And really great surfing. The waves turn on, and it's looking like we're gonna have a beautiful day of action. With the lower tide, is getting better as we see here Lua riding.
Yeah, wow, straight into it. Oh, spicy from Almeida. Oh, and another one. Really interesting wetsuit there as well. I love it. Look, it's got all sorts of stuff going on, and he's got all sorts of stuff going on. Super sort of fast and action, and he wanted that. And Almeida straight up and into it, kicks the water in sort of inspiration. He's fired up, you can tell. And wow, Chico.
What a wave to start this heat off. Great snap off the top. Great snap there. Winds up again. Gets another snap there, a bit more stiff one, because the wave really got softer and softer, but he kept the same energy all the way. So he's fired up.
Really is. That's another angle of it. Bit of spray. The two money turns out the back, and then he started doing a few little zigs and zags. Working his board, like sort of pumping a little bit much, but still all the way through to the inside. And yeah, he'll be really happy with that start. You can tell, look, all fully fired up. Nice little peek out the back, and this is another one, Chico. Whoa.
This is João Roque Pinho. He's got a really good backside approach. And yeah, a couple of quick snaps there. And this wave is looking really good for the backsiders, for the goofies, I think.
Holy Damien Hardman. That was about 8 backhand whacks. As you say, it's a little kind of a wedge now, isn't it? Like a defined peak.
As you see the replay of green, a good Larry layback, and quick car cut back there, and yeah, the wave dies off as we see red. Ian Costa, he leaves here now, so he might be feeling good. Great air from Ian. Wow. we just have, I think we're gonna have back-to-back fired up heats.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pinho on his backhand was absolutely hammering. Costa a 6-point ride for that last spin to win. Right now, though, the winner of the last crack of a heat is down on the beach.
Yeah, Mondi. Well, that was really exciting. A lot of action there in the water. How did that feel?
Was kind of tricky, many waves, but was fun. Good vibes. Sun is out, clean water, and that's all kind of.
And you said that you thought you were in third, but then you got here on the beach and they told you were first, right?
Yeah, I was like wave after waves, 11 waves in a heat, everybody catching waves, and I didn't hear the answers. I went out, I came to walk away, and then they said, "You are first, go to the interview." It was nice.
And we were talking a bit before the interview. You said that you're still figuring out what your goal is here on the QS. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, like it's my second QS out of Europe, like in Europe. And I still figuring out what I want. I like juniors, pro juniors, but I don't know if I like QS and it's good for me. You know, it's a lot of invest money. You have to invest money inside, and you're doing good to your soul. And maybe there are some other stuff that's doing good to my soul, big waves or big barrels. So I'm still figuring out if I like QS or I want big waves or big barrels.
Well, keep up the good work. You're in the next round, and hopefully you'll continue on.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Yep. Thanks, Joe. Nice work. Fanging down the line. He's got to work out what he wants from life. Does he want big
he's trying
barrels?
to
Does he want
understand
big waves?
what is best for his soul. What is best for your soul?
It's a question I ask myself probably 24 times every 2 hours.
Can we tell him that it's going to happen for the next 20 days? 20 years? Asking himself what's his soul
it never
want.
stops.
Never
Yeah,
stops.
he's obviously got a bit of a hankering for some big waves. He's obviously talented. He's only still a junior. Oh, you know what? You know what I dislike
Words
most?
of advice from you to him.
No, more of just a lament about just someone with a future. Makes me a bit angry. It's just, so he's just working out which one of his bright future he wants to sort of attack first. Kind of makes me a bit sad. Doesn't matter.
He's got options, right?
Yeah, it makes my blood boil. Anyway, these young men with a future, and there's another one. Almeida has been busy. Really spicy, like that wetsuit. Talked about that. Red, fiery, and this sort of wedge is starting to look pretty good. Chico, I was seeing, went out and had a look on the pier there, and there's like a really solid channel next to the pier. And then it looks like there's a bit of that right-hand wedge you can see there. Looks pretty defined as this tide goes out. So we're looking like a really nice couple of days coming our way. And there's some nice style from Costa. He goes again. That's the second time he's done that. Got a 6 for the first one. He's going to get another good saw there. So that's obviously part of his strength of his surfing. Alves, he likes to go high.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of clips on his Instagram here in Costa because he lives here now for the last, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years. And his strength is frontside air, and he really loves this kind of like punchy wedges here in Costa. And I think it suits his surfing really well. You can tell he's feeling comfortable, and his approach on the wave is really good. You can tell he knows this wave already, and this air was really lofty and kind of like a throw tail air reverse, which I think he always looks really stylish, and he's got a really good style, which is something you really enjoy watching. He's someone throwing an air, but with style, which is something you see Jordi do, Julian do, which is something great to watch.
Yeah, really quick transition, wasn't it? Got it round, spun it around. It was pretty clean, good style. And we'll see where the judges put that one, whether it was better than it won. Look what they have. I think they're rewarding that progression. It's got a massive heat total. It's already just 10 minutes gone on the clock, and Costa is absolutely on fire. And they really, really solid. So another 6.67 for that wave. 7.67 potentially. So yeah, awesome from Costa. Moved down to this neck of the woods and seems to be enjoying it. And he's back out there, sitting on that peak. We see surfer Pasito. Bit of a risky strategy, paddling down the beach, staying away from his competitors. It's pretty tight, sort of packed takeoff zone there now, and he's figured that he's not going to. He's probably have to wait 1 to 2 heats, and he's just gave himself a bit of breathing room. So was Costa, to be fair. He's gave himself some breathing room just by virtue of ripping. He's going to go again. That's a look. Decides not to. Just feel the buzz, the energy out there at the moment. Chico Alves, people setting up. Saw the Australia Galicia sort of stand, just warming up there or cooling down the beers. Another sponsor of this event, backing professional surfing in a huge way. You just sense the, I don't know, this town sort of feels like there's something going on. A bit of a special week in Costa de Caparica. Chico.
Yeah, it is. I think it's every time there's any major event here on in Costa, everyone really joins together and enjoys the moment, because it's a really quiet town overall. Over the years has been a bit more busier in summertime, and in summertime I think it always was, but even on winter now you can see a lot more cars around, people really enjoying staying here. And yeah, I think every time there's a big event here, people likes to get together and enjoy the action. So even if it's like another event of music event or something like a music festival, people really enjoy it. So it's great.
Yeah, loads of people would get back, getting into a break. But yeah, where we're taking the hotel trip just opposite, it's right on the beach, amazing spot. But there's loads of all sorts of sporting teams, a real big sporting facility. Speaking of big sporting action, there's Pinto going for it there. We're going to go for a short commercial break and come back with more live action right after this.
I got it right? Yeah. No way.
Welcome back to live action here at the Costa de Caparica, Portugal. And we see that right hander. Oh, and that's it, man. Just winding up the backhand again. Banging down the line, trying to just lost a little bit of speed. But you see, hopefully done a bit of the damage out the back from Pino. See how that went. Ian Costa is absolutely slaying this seed at the moment. 11 minutes on the clock. Conditions just looking good and set to improve, and a little bit slow, but he warmed up here, Chico.
Yeah, first turn was just a setup turn. Here, I really enjoyed this quick floater there, and he winds up again. I don't think he's going to be as good as his first wave. His first wave was really well connected and a bit bigger than this one. But I think it's going to be a good backup for him. So he's a really tall guy, so he's doing a really good work on connecting these turns on such a small wave. I've seen him surf on bigger waves, and his surfing gets even better. Gets really more, how do you say, fluid. And yeah, he's got a really great style. You can tell he's a bit like you, Ben Mundy.
Oh, how?
He needs a bit more face, more punch on the wave, and he really
Lights up.
Lights up, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Thanks for helping me with the
No worries. No,
lights up expression there.
Yeah.
After 3
Yeah,
minutes.
backhand style. And, well, if he gets through this, which he's looking pretty good, you'll hopefully get a sample of the more punchy waves due
Tomorrow,
forecast
right?
on that tomorrow. Yeah, due to come in. Period gets longer. Size, probably double the size, I'd say, potentially. So, yeah, and these banks look great. had to walk up and down the beach, and yeah, just there's little banks all up and down. Although this little section here, Chico, is it sort of more the most consistent sort of waves on the Costa stretches, or they're all pretty good? We often locate here because it's probably might be easier for the infrastructure wise, but it seems to be one of the more consistent sort of spots on the whole stretch, is it, in terms of waves?
I think every pier you go, there's like a sandbank like this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you said before, I think it's just because of the.
Have they got their hold the phone? As we see, Almeida has been really pushing it. That wave's not going to happen there for him. Is each little sort of groin got their own little vibe, their own little crowd almost?
Yeah,
their own little scene.
Each beach has a bit like a group of people that really grew up together there, and but like on the 80s, you used to be a bit of a rivalry between the peers. Yeah, and nowadays I think it's a bit like cooler now.
Yeah, a bit more warmer.
Yeah. But yeah, it still is.
The wars of the 80s, the peer wars of the 80s.
Yeah, there was a war back then. But yeah, I just remember my dad telling me those stories and everything. So yeah, it just comes from behind. I don't know even if it's true. I didn't saw it, so.
Well, most surfers, no matter where they are, tend to congregate on their little beach. I mean, you look in Australia. I know, for example, like at Merewether. For example, it's Merewether, Dixon Park, and Bar Beach. They're like literally 500 metres. There's 3 board riders clubs, and you're like, yeah, some of those guys would never dream to surf down 300 metres down the beach.
Yeah.
In Cronulla, in Sydney, Australia, it's very similar. There's the alley board riders, Allura. There's 3 board riders again in the space of like 500 metres, and like, yeah, you just wouldn't be caught surfing. Yeah, the other one. So yeah, us surfers, we like to get our little patch, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it has improved as we worked out that you got to share. Sharing's caring, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think surf etiquette is something that it's really hard to explain sometimes, because it's like it comes way back from the start of the sport that it's impossible to explain almost. So
it is an interesting and integral part of our culture. As we see, Pasito, he's been slow in this heat. Here he goes, goes to the alley-oop. Can't make that one.
If someone out of surfing asks you what is localism, it's so hard to explain.
Yeah, it really is.
Like I cannot really explain when I see someone asking that question, which is weird. Because it's something that you do, but you cannot really explain it. But
no, it's some parts of it unacceptable, but then you kind of have to have it, don't you? So it's a weird balance. Surfing is a weird sport in that there's rules, but there's no one to enforce them, isn't it? So it's like a collective
force of group.
Yeah, where we all have to make,
rules.
we know the rules, but we all have to enforce them together without, it's kind of remarkable that it all works, to be honest. I know there is some elements where the enforcement of those rules can be quite gnarly, but on the whole, we all get along and we all make these individual decisions together,
Yeah.
I suppose it's a bit like driving, there's rules of the road and people adhere to them. So Chico's saying, come to Caparica, he's going to give you any wave you want. He's a local, come to any pier and you can just come out and just go any wave you want, because that's the way that works. So that's great news. And up in Espina as well, that's the same. Anyone can just turn up and say, I'm with Alves, and you're gonna get anyway.
You spoke. I didn't say anything. I've been quiet until the first time you spoke. But yeah, I just think you need to respect the old dogs.
Yeah, respect the rules, respect the elders, respect the locals. They're the ones that are.
The way I've been teach here has been always like, hey, you need to respect the older guys, and I've always done that since I'm really young. I remember being really young and asking every local, can I go on this wave? And they'd be like, fuck, Chico, you're asking me every time if you can go on the wave. Chill. And I'm like, okay, sorry. Yeah. You're through.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would ask like every 2 seconds, can I go? Hey, mate, can I go? And he's like, just grow up, mate. Can't you asking me if you want to go on the wave like 300 times every session?
It's like the opposite of Tom Carroll, because he's famous. He always says, "Are you going? Are you? He's ready to drop it. Are you going? Are you going?" That's what he says every time. Are you going? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Are you going?
Are you going? Are you going? Yeah, that's what he's famous. His catchphrase is.
I think you love to do that one too. I just feel like you don't say anything, but you have to have a look. Andre,
How you going?
that real mid-length paddle.
Yeah, I like to.
longboard paddle, just to really
How you
make
going?
sure.
How you going?
I don't think you say it. You just have to look.
Yeah, I'm always
Ben
there.
Mendy's look.
Always there.
Side high look.
Tell you what, there's some looks going on now. So we saw Pinot. Here we go, a bit of a paddle battle. He's used his priority. The goofy footer was in second place. So far this wave hasn't offered a whole lot, but he's streaking down the line and he just pulls off. Maybe more of a blocking move than anything else, but that's not going to add to his course. 4 minutes on the clock. And we see him just trying to hang on that all-important second place. Almeida is that person in third place, letting a score. And Costa well out in front, looking really safe. Had a great heat. On the virtue of not a whole lot of turns, but 2 solid turns each one. Cito hasn't really got into this heat in any way, shape or form, but there's still time. Not huge numbers needed. And it's been Costa laid down the marker. Last 2 heats featured some solid scores. I think we're gonna get one last flurry here as we see a bit of a recap coming our way. I'll let Chico Alves talk us through this, how we got here.
Yeah, João Roquepin really started off strong. This wave looked beautiful. He smashed it all the way. These snaps look really fast and precise. And really just seamless surfing by him. Just a bit of a repetition in terms of movements. But nonetheless, a really well-surfed wave. He got a 6.33 to start off. And this was the man of this heat. Only 10 minutes and he threw 2 huge airs, this one. And the connection on the next one, the big snap, and then the air. I think this is the second one he got for a big snap there, and a big blowtail reverse there. So really nice surfing from Ian, really fluid style, and really well connected to this wave. So yeah, this was the man of this heat so far. We have 2 minutes to go, so anything can happen.
Yeah, I can't understand the individual scores, but that wave of Pinot's, that first backhand turns, I thought was a little bit underscored, but he's still in second place. Pasito fanging down the line, 2 little check turns, no real engagement in the fins, all a bit similar. I mean, come close to his board there. Not going to be enough. That man's been busy, but you can tell by looking at his face even that probably wasn't enough for Almeida. Chasing the score. Looked at his watch, he'll know that there's 2 minutes left to go. It's probably a 20-second paddle out, so he's going to have time. He's going to have the last of the priority, so he could be in strife here. Started off really impressively, but hasn't been able to build on that initial first wave. And see what he did out the back. This wave here, it's never really connected here, Chico.
Yeah, he was just trying to work his way down the line and really just horizontal surfing all the way. So I don't think it's going to be a major result, that one. As we see Blue needing a score here, doing a quick snap out the back, throwing the fins out, really stylish. But I don't think it's going to be enough for second. And as we see Ian, João, and Ian out the back there. Everyone is out the back actually, because the paddle doesn't look really far away. So yeah, great heat. First 10 minutes looked like we're gonna have a really heat with many waves, but then it slowed down a bit.
Slowed
the
down
second
somewhat.
half.
Yeah, exactly.
Ocean needs to sleep sometimes.
And 40 seconds. Looks like Almeida is still hunting around. Didn't get the score. It's a poor wave choice, but you know, probably had to have a crack. He's got a little bit of freedom here. You can just tell by that wave, it hasn't got much on it. He's going to have a swing, and he's got 30 seconds left to go, and you can tell he's going to call it quits on this one. See the body language, disappointment. Looks like Roquepin, and to be fair, I think the 2 best surfers have progressed in this heat. Better wave selection.
Yeah, London started really well on the first wave. Looked like he was well connected. He got a really fun ride to start it off, but then he kind of lost his rhythm out there. So yeah, as you said, I think first and second are well deserved for this one.
Yeah, Pasito, that's not going to be a 7.26 he needs, so he's out. So Costa and Pino are through. Some big numbers, especially from that man on your screen, Ian Costa. Has moved to the area, knows the waves, showed a bit of progression, which the judges liked. And he was going to progress through to the round of 96. Solid surfing from that man. Fins first, bit of progression, and it was rewarded appropriately. As you see the official results there, Costa and Pino are through. Almeida and Pasito aren't going to feature anymore in this week's competitive surfing, at least. And we rifle on through. We've done 5 heats. Right now, though, as we have a short break in the proceedings, we're going to go to a commercial break and come back for the Caparica Surf Fest 2023 right after this.
See, they be moaning about the hard times, don't want to do the work, but the work is
I got it right? Yeah. No way.
Welcome back to live action from the Costa de Caparica. This is the vista we're looking at, sweeping southwards down the beach. A long stretch of sand and estuary. There's a lake right in the middle there, nature reserve. And of course these sand greens providing endless banks, fun ways for levels of all abilities. Loads of surf schools getting involved, which is great. And at this end though, not many learners here. We've got some of the best European surfers in the water. And speaking of some of the best European surfers, I got Philippe Jervis, and he's going to talk us through this wave. What's he got?
Yeah, this is the new Portuguese up-and-comer Martin Nunes, just going really big on this 3-turn combo, just getting one of the best waves of I've seen today. It's actually, the bank is really fun. The tide just put a little bit of water on that right-hander, as we see green up and riding also. Nice little first snap, straight into another hip, and finish this one off. Yeah, Martin Nunes, the surfer in white, is one of the one of those kids, new generation, 633 on his first wave. One of those new generation kids. I'm happy with him. I really like him. He's a really cool, really calm kid, and also a goofy footer. We don't have that many goofy footers in the world, so we need more.
Where does he grow up?
He's actually from... I don't really know. Yeah, I don't think he's a local from everywhere. He's everywhere. He's
everywhere.
Always training.
Everywhere he goes. Just travels. Who knows yet?
Yeah,
really strong.
From here all the way to Peniche and Ericeira. So but I would say Cascais probably.
Yeah. Well, he's got a great start at 6.33 with that backhand attack. Yeah, you're right about this bank. It's really well defined now. As you can see, that rip sort of coming off the groin. And then it looks like it's a bit of almost like a triangle out there.
Yeah, it's
right?
perfect. It's a little wedgie coming from the pier. It's not the pier, but how do you call it?
Well, we say groin.
Groin. Okay.
With a Y. But yeah, or a pier.
This is also another Portuguese surfing, Martin Carrasco. He's actually known for his charging skills. He's also really good high performance surfer, but I think the conditions that suits him the most is like big cochos and super tubos as well. He spent a month in Hawaii, but as you see, nice little carve straight into a snap off the top. The wave kind of dies on him, but yeah, Martin he has evolving a lot, and we see him just getting some of the. He's a local from Ericeira.
Right.
We watch him getting some of the best waves.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, speaking of person getting the best waves, and that was the winner of that last heat, Ian Costa, down there on the beach with Joanna Garnell.
Joanna Garnell, it's Francisco Alves, but it's fine. I'm used to it. But yeah, Ian, you're from here now. You live here for a couple of years now. First 10 minutes of the heat, and you pull 2 big airs. How do you feel?
I feel super great. Like, it's super nice to be at home, competing at home, and I was feeling like confident before the heat, and I thought like I'd go for it, try like as hard as I can, and in the first wave I tried to add and I landed, and I say, yeah, that's it. Now,
Do you thought your first air was better than the second one?
Yeah, I thought the first one was better, but was just one turn, and the second one was I did it. The first one, and like I need to do something bigger. Like then I landed again and say, yeah, and then my hit is done. Like now you're just gonna try to find something better, but I'm feeling super good to start like this.
Fired up for the conditions we have ahead for the rest of the week?
Yeah, like tomorrow gonna be super good. So I was like, I need to pass today to surf tomorrow because today is quite tricky, quite hard to find a nice wave, and for the next few days looks pretty awesome. So I'm excited.
Have you been training here before, the whole week or the whole month?
Honestly, I didn't surf here like this week. I was surfing more in Central and other spots. It was super crowded here.
Don't tell all the secrets.
But yeah, but I know this wave like very well. Used to surf here like every day, so it was easy.
Yeah, it was easy for you. You looked really good out there. Good luck for the next round.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you, boys.
Yeah, thanks, Francisco. And yeah, what a great interview. Little insight. He's sort of stoked. You can tell it's that confidence, isn't it? You get to stick that first there sometimes, Philippe, and then you're off. You know, it's so important to get that first maneuver in.
Yeah, when I come, I don't come here that often because we always have waves around Cascais. But when I come, Ian is always on the water, and he's always doing something different. He's fast, he's sharp, he's really good on the air. So I'm pretty stoked to see him getting through this round, and hopefully tomorrow he keeps on showing us how good he is.
Yeah, he looked confident, and as we said, spent a fair bit of time around these parts and knows the wave, so one to watch. Bit of a lull in proceedings. Nunes still with that 6.3 through that first wave. What's the Portuguese word? What do you call the greens or the piers?
It's called pontão. Pontão.
Pontão.
Yeah.
Pontão. Nice, I like it.
Yeah, in the north, up north we say different.
Right.
Yeah, it just told us on the mic, but yeah, it's normally where I grew up surfing. We also have a big one, but it's weird because this kind of grinds here in Costa just normally gives a right-hander wedge.
Yep.
And where I grew up, it's the opposite. It gets a big rip ball right beside the grind, and then there's a left
into the
pier.
rip.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty fun, but yeah, I think with this tide, we're gonna see a lot more lulls, and probably the surfers just shifting a little bit more to the middle part of the beach, I think. But there's still some really good waves out there. There's some really fun right-handers. I was watching with Pedro Coelho. He's gonna be on the next heat, and we were watching, and we were saying how good the right-hander is right now, especially for your backhand. And we just saw Martin Nunes going big on those couple of turns, so it should be fun. Let's see if we get a couple more waves coming in with 16 minutes remaining.
Yeah, well, we've got a surfer making a move there. He's got priority, so doesn't really need to do anything. He needs to sit tight on that button. See, so clean. It's just sort of nice, just dead easterly, isn't it? Just light northeast, east winds.
Honestly, it's so rare to have this type of conditions in Portugal. We're used to those north winds as we see Green up and riding. Oh, nice carving layback. Straight into a nice snap. Let's see if this wave walls up on the inside, if you can get the connection. Another snap layback. Nice little wave.
Yeah, surf well with that priority. And then you see Nunez trying to back up his score. It's a little bit more on that backhand, can just get a bit more spray. Dodges his opponent, finishes it off. We'll see what he did out the back. And also Lawrence.
A Swedish surfer, which is nice.
Yeah.
Different flag.
We're used to the Scandinavians representing. So he's taken a while to get that. Was his first wave. So he's waited 10 minutes for that. Not sure if he's particularly happy with it, but he's on the board at least and can get back in. Looks like a strapping lad. And yeah, we saw Perez just yes, really smooth laybacks, old school kind of turn, but did it well in the right pocket. And we'll see how that thing. But this is a nice little wave, wasn't it? Had that little wedge, sort of push from behind the pocket. And there's that first carve. That is a nice carve.
That was really good.
That was good. A bit of fin release. It's a really nice style, hasn't he? Like real rails engaged, and then a little bit of a drop wallet.
I was watching the surfer in red. He was splashing the water with his hand because he had priority, and he's probably thinking, why didn't I go on the Green's wave? Because you can see his wave choice wasn't that good. So yeah, he's
upset.
Upset. As we see Martin, nice first turn, straight into a second carving from your backhand. Another one. He's really smooth surfer, and he's really good. He has been improving. He spends a lot of time in the water, so very nice backup wave for Martin.
Yeah, surfed it well. Said that nice little first hand. Yeah, there's the bank. A really good shot of the bank there. With that definite line. Lawrence, just unfortunately for him, couldn't get that section out the back that he wanted. But that does show exactly how this little right-hand bank is looking. As we see some of the learners down there on the inside getting their little fill, which is great. Some sets approaching about the halfway stage of the heat. Nunez looking the most sort of informed surfer at the moment. Plenty of time left. And still tricky, these set waves. The period's longish enough, so the waves come in sets, don't they, Philippe? There's probably 3 or 4 in a set. You still got to choose the right one, though, don't you? That's the tricky part of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You need to be on the right spot and choose the right one, because there's a few ones, as we saw, the surfer in red, he was a bit behind the wall, and there's a few ones that get a bit fat. You just need to grab those double ups that gives you that wall that allows you to go big and go strong. So it looks fun from the outside, and it looks easy to surf from the outside, but you definitely know it's trickier than it looks.
So they're in a little bit of a chat out the back about it all. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with their lot. Talking about the heat, what's going on.
Waiting for scores.
What they can do for dinner. And you see those scores starting to filter in. Carrasco now with priority. Say the big, really powerful surfer. Loves the right-hand slab. Loves the left-hand slab for that matter. And he's looking at this one. Not going to use priority on that one. Still within the hunt. Still waiting for those scores. Judges taking their time on this one. A couple of flurry, sort of different approaches.
I'm very curious. Yeah, I'm very curious to see the score on surfer in green, because the wave was ridden differently than we used to, but for me, as we see, 5.17, so pretty average score. Would
pretty much all in that first turn, right? That carve.
Yeah, that was.
Probably
I love that carve. I know it. I don't really do it. This is also a Portuguese surfer, Francisco Queimado. I don't really do it because the technique of doing those carvings, just leaving your hands behind your back, it's not as easy as it looks, and it looked really good from him. So I was expecting a bit higher the scores, but yeah, 5.17 sounds good.
Yeah, pretty strong. Yeah, it's hard to do that turn, especially in these waves, to make it look good. It's an element of style almost, and accentuating, you know, more your body movement. But yeah, he made it look good. He got a 5, which is, you know, definitely a scorer in these conditions.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Leaves Carrasco chasing fairly you know, not a huge number, but a number. 10 minutes on the clock. Nunes looking at this one. That's not going to count. There will be sort of bits of lulls and pieces. This new swell kind of filling in tomorrow. I don't think it's meant to increase dramatically today, but we see Lawrence say that Swedish surfer just got a bit rattled, I think, by that fact that he waited all that time for that first wave and then didn't work out. Now he's playing catch up.
Yeah, and he's doing something that is, tactically is not a good choice. He's surfing against the deep part of the sandbank, so the wave just gonna disappear as soon as he takes off. Then that's exactly what I saw from him. We saw from him. He took off and did a floater, and the wave just disappeared. So he needs to look for those right-handers, or maybe move a little south down the bank and try to find something different if he doesn't want to be in the mix waiting for those right-handers.
Yeah, always a risky strategy. Oh, yeah, good wipeout there. I love seeing the learners wipe out. Yeah, risky strategy in terms of separating yourself from the crew. It's been slow, so maybe in some respects he's like, you know what, I don't have priority, it's not worth hanging on. So he's thrown the dice, but at the moment, not paying off. The other guy's still having that combo. Just waiting for a bit of action. What do you do? You psych them out? What's your strategy in that situation? Be friendly, be mean, be angry?
Right now, it depends. If you have priority, you just have to wait.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
but what's your sort of game? What's your chat? What's your kind of verbal?
I don't speak with it.
You don't speak. No. Dead quiet. They give them nothing.
Yeah, because it gets weird, you know. Because especially if you're competing against friends,
yeah,
you can start and mix it up, your emotions, and out of nowhere you're just speaking with someone that you want to beat,
right?
And then you kind of lose focus. But I know there's people that can actually separate stuff and be out there. And I won't be aggressive. It's not my style. Yeah. No. The only aggressive part of my surfing is probably my paddling. But with the priorities now, back in the day when we didn't have priorities, it was a bit more hassle.
Right.
It was easier for me because I'm an aggressive paddler, but right now we just have to wait. And yeah, I wouldn't be speaking to anyone. Just.
You think that'll be your epitaph? You write when you're dead. They write something on your gravestone that sums you up.
Well, then I'm a good paddler.
An aggressive paddler.
Aggressive paddler.
Here
probably.
Here lies Jervis, an aggressive paddler.
Back in the day when there was no priority, it was a lot different.
Yeah,
it was a lot of hassle, a lot of paddling, and just try to go around everybody and try to find your opportunities. I think it was a great rule that they implemented because it was sometimes it would get out of hand, like hands touching each other, legs and leg ropes, and
absolutely. And you got in the position where the best surfers weren't getting through, were they? Because there was aggressive paddlers like yourself that were just like all over them. Yeah, no, it's tricky.
But still, there's still some. You can do some paddling even with the priorities. We saw something happening with Zeke Lau and John back in the day, like a few years ago.
Sure.
John had the priority, and Zeke was just paddling around him, just trying to mess with his head. So it's still part of the game. It's allowed as long as you don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, well, Gabriel Medina.
Oh yeah, Medina
is one of the great examples.
He always wants the inside, always wants the first wave. So it's
he always pushes that limit, and a couple of times in his career he's pushed over it. But on the whole, he's right on the edge, always putting pressure on your opponents.
Because it intimidates you. If you have a guy like Medina just staring at you, paddling all around you, you just go, what the hell are you doing? How am I going to go out of this situation? But it's part of the game, and Medina is a fierce competitor. As you see, Red up and riding.
Yeah, and that's Lawrence, just a little bit lost off that bank. I mean, to be fair, none of the others got any waves either, but he just can't find any edge, any kind of corners.
That was a very smart hit by Martin, obviously. There's still 6 minutes remaining, but he caught that first wave, put a high score straight away. That gives you the extra confidence when they're laughing and
no wonder they're
and speaking. But this guy, yeah, he needs a score, so he's not laughing.
No, yeah,
Not talking as well, for sure.
Funny that first and second are having a great time, smiling and laughing. But yeah, you know what? He can wipe their smiles off their face pretty quick. Carrasco, he gets one little section, just with a bit of push, he'll go for it. So doesn't need a big number. Just been a really, really slow end to the heat. But we had a quiet flurry at the start. There's a recap coming our way, and Philippe, talk us through it.
Yeah, this is how you want to start a heat. Nice wave, nice combination of turns, just top to bottom. That's pristine surfing by Martin. Just no mistakes, just top to bottom, waiting, right timing. He didn't finish really strong, but all the damage was done. And this guy got the third best wave. This carving layback was really nice. Just hold on that rail for a long time, which is really hard in these conditions. And he surfed really perfect. He has a pretty nice style, very technical, very easy going. And Martin just back it up with this one. First nice snap, straight into a second carving. And then he just milked the wave all the way through the inside with a couple more turns, one more snap. The thing about backhand, it sometimes gets a bit repetitive, but on these kind of conditions, I don't think the judges are thinking about that. They just want to see speed and water and flow, and Martin just ticked all the points.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, that's a good point. The judges, you know, with small waves, there's only so much you can do to add variety. But yeah, that first wave of Nunes really stood out. That was right in the first couple of minutes, or minute of the heat as well, so that's exactly what you want. There you go.
Pedro Coelho with my ex-coach, Rodrigo, all the boys from the group of training, and he's pretty psyched. I was speaking with him, and these conditions, if he gets that right-hander, like Martin got, he's going to be really dangerous, because his backside is definitely his strength. So I'm pretty curious to see how he's going to... But it's getting slower, huh? It looks like it. The tide is pushing, and the waves look like it's getting off the bank, which is not good, but...
Some lines approaching, though. What other tides, Philippe? It's coming up, pushing up. 2 o'clock.
It's high tide is at 2 p.m.
Right. Okay. So we've got a bit of time pushing in, not huge tides, but enough to change it up.
Yeah, I think this right-hand sandbank is gonna finish, and they're gonna surf in the middle of the beach, because you need. As you see, Martin, maybe his last opportunity.
Here we go. It's the green wall, first turn, strong, little check turn, gets the fins out. You can tell by his body language that wave did not offer any opportunity, or whatever opportunity it did have, he didn't really push it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The wave had opportunity. I don't think he was not too convinced with his surfing. You need to push it a little harder.
I think he thought there might have been another section coming his way, but we
kind of misread the wave.
Where he had to go for it on those first 2 turns if he was going to get anything.
He had the opportunity of doing a 2-turn combo, two-turn strong combo, as we see here. A bit of a mistake by the surfer in green, and then he tried and went for the air, and unfortunately goes down. But here, this wave, you need to come down and hit really strong on that one, and then another one. I think as maybe he did that last turn just thinking about the finishing turn. And there was also a third wave, Martin. Nice first turn, straight into a nice second turn. That was definitely the best wave of the exchange so far.
So in that situation, it's third priority, but it just worked out because the last wave, that was the best one set. Really hard to, when Martin took off on that, it pretty much impossible to predict that. But yeah, Nunes so smooth on his backhand. That first turn, poured out in a voluntary groan of pleasure from Jarvis, and it was smooth, and he's been really technically sound. Out the back, more action. 90 seconds. So Carrasco, this is a bit more of a wedge. What's he got? First turn in the lip, and just comes around. He's just mistiming these. There's a nice carve. Comes around the corner. Just a little bit late to all those sections.
The wave was really good. That was definitely the wave that he needed to put a high score, but unfortunately, as you said, a little bit late to the whole wave.
Just been his timing hasn't been right there, has it, Philippe? Like you said, the difference between Nunes and that wave, just that timing was the main issue.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Let's see. It didn't choose, especially this one. He could have gone for a carving instead of hitting the lip, and then this one just puts him a little bit too far away from that finishing turn. So a bit of a mistake by Martin. He got the opportunity. Unfortunately, he didn't surf as good as he wanted. So as Martin actually improved his situation, 6.83 on that last wave, 2-turn combo.
Yeah, I mean, as it stands, yeah, Nunez way out in front, but that wave Carrasco, he needed a 5.31, and you'd think if he'd surf that wave to his ability.
Yeah, and even the wave before, because he just needed to do a 2-turn combo with 2 strong turns. It's good enough to get some 5s and 6. So he had the opportunity. We thought he didn't have any more opportunity with 1 minute remaining, but there's still a couple sets coming in.
Yeah, last wave from Lawrence, the big fella. He's come around the corner. He's got a wave in. He hasn't had a good heat, but at least he's finishing off strong. I like the dismount. And that's the end of his event, unfortunately. He'd be unhappy with that first sort of wait. 10 minutes, he waited for that first wave and it didn't work out. And he sort of was behind the 8 ball after that. That surfer there, though, he was on form from the very get-go. Really smooth backhand surfing, impressive, technical, sharp, and smashed that heat. And K-Rez with the old layback Larry, and he also got through. So there you go. He's going to come in. He'll surf tomorrow as the conditions improve. And he's going to be dangerous on these right-handers with that backhand style. But as he comes in for a lap of honour, we're going to go to a short commercial break and come back with more live action right after this.
I got it right? Yeah. No way.
Back to live action, and that, my friends, is Lisboa, Lisbon. We're on the southern shores, on the Costa de Caparica. We're here in the round of 112 for this qualifying series event leading up to the Challenger Series, the last in the qualifying series events in Europe. My name's Ben Mundy. I'm happy to inform you I've been joined by Paul Evans in the booth. Paul, sum up that sort of vista for me. How does that make you feel?
If you're naughty, they'll lock you up in there.
Yeah. What do you have
to do? Some hard crust of bread and some rainwater to drink, and you can have a long think about your crimes.
If you drop in on someone, straight out there.
Drop in on someone if you...
Litter?
Yep, that's a big no-no.
Blasphemy?
No, that's okay. I think that's fine. You're all right. Knock yourself out. Speaking of which, here's green.
Live action. Quello, we just talked his backhand up. Really sharp. Give your foot up. Jervis saying once he gets cracking, he's going to be dangerous. And just gets runs. Bit of fat water there, and he just says, well, what went wrong? Just not quite on the bank. And end up not getting the score he would have wanted to start off the heat, but got the feet in the wax. Replay here, Paul just just a little bit fat this wave, and that first turn was a bit funny and never really regathered.
I don't mind the pragmatic approach, though. It's going to get a little bit deeper. Well, it's getting a lot deeper, actually. It's another metre of tide to come in and just take a wave, see what it offers. It's close to connecting to an inside, and just thought, why not? And I think, yeah, you don't want to sit there and play priority games. You just get some numbers on the board. Tell you what, Ben, Twitter is a logjam. I know you're more of a Truth Social guy these days, but you still tweet as well.
Yeah. I'm involved in the Twitter sphere.
A lot of questions coming in.
Oh, so many. Yeah, there's been a lot. I mean, the thing about the Twitter is it just never stops, and especially there's been a bit of a break. But we will have a bit of a break. We'll come back to that, Paul. I'm very interested in what you've been gathering out there. But right now, speaking of gathering some information, I think we might have an interview down on the beach with the winner of the last heat.
Yeah, boys, I have with me Martin Nunes. Martin Nunes, you looked on fire out there. You started off with a pair of sixes. How that felt?
I felt good. It was good to pass the heat. Made my first hit on the comp. It was tough conditions. It's too much. The high tide is like struggling the waves. Is not too much sets coming, and was good to get a couple of good waves. And I'm happy.
A bit more confidence for you surfing on your backside, or for you it's all good if it's a left or a right?
Yeah, I think for these tiny waves, it's easier for me to surf in the backside. I prefer, but if it's a left, I surf too, so no problem.
What's your goal for this event?
Just made my best surfing, and get some hits done, compete well, and that's it.
Win the event?
Just want to surf good, and the rest is like a
story.
Yeah, no, not story, but regrets. Like.
All good. Congratulations into the next round, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you, boys.
Yeah, I think she should go pretty confident, pretty quiet. Just do a good surf, and the results will come for themselves, Paul. I mean, there's a lesson to be learned.
Classic. Great strategy. He was trying to draw him, wasn't he, Chico? Trying to draw him into saying he wants to get the win.
He
wouldn't.
was just like that.
Way too
Forward
smart.
defensive.
Way too smart, Chico.
Forward defensive, straight down the line, straight back at you. Yeah, what's the Twitter sphere you got? What do you got, Paul?
Okay, can't really read that one out. Now, Linda in Berkshire, she says, Caparica Surf Fests. A question for Paul and Ben. What some of your favourite fests down the years? Could be surf or otherwise. What top 5 fests, Ben Mundy?
Surfest, Newcastle.
Where's that?
It's in Newcastle, Australia. It's famous, probably one of the first ever fests that involves surfing. They put surf and fest together, and they set the template for all the good times that follow.
Yep. Have you been to it?
Been to it, worked at it, lived it. WAP school, as it used to be back in the day. Had a couple of days off school to go and watch it when I was a kid.
WAG school?
WAG school. Did it all.
How did Colin Viv feel about that, the parents?
Actively encouraged it. Such was Surfest pull on the town, and such was Surfest, like general vibes. They were like, hey, that's way more important than school. You go do it. I didn't tell them, obviously. Of course I didn't. Yeah. So yeah, that was my favourite fest.
Yep.
I like a Boardmasters sort of fest.
Sure.
Yeah. So they're a couple.
You getting to that stage where you maybe feel you're maybe a touch, I won't say too old, but I say not young enough for Boardmasters, or you still pulling it off, you feel?
I think the average age being 19, I fit right in. Yeah.
You look like you come to pick someone up.
Yeah. Just sleep in the car so I can pick up my son. Yeah, no, you're never too old to go to a fest, Paul.
Okay, so there's 2. Any others?
How many did Linda want?
5. Top 5 fests.
Well, Glastonbury.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the great festivals.
Okay.
Going to go Donington.
Classic.
The heavy metal
rock.
fest.
Yeah, rock.
And of course, last but not least, I'm going to go. Roskilde, famous Dutch festival, one of the biggest in the world. Yeah, they're my favourite fests. And of course, I mean, we can't include Caparica Surf Fest because that's just a given. I mean, that we're here and we love it. We wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
No love for the Hay on Wye Literary Fest?
Don't mind it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, don't mind that at all. Don't mind this. Quello, looking at that, can't get in. Couldn't quite make that one. As we see, just no one. A bit of a slow heat. The start of this heat, we had a bit of a break in last time. So
would you like to hear my 5?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm going to come with Hay on Wye.
Yeah,
Literary Fest. Port Elliot, no longer with us. South Cornwall, brilliant. Held in a stately home.
It's like the Oz Fest, the Ozzy Osbourne Festival.
Yeah. not far from Hay-on-Wye, but just if you nudge slightly further down the M4 into South Wales, in Llanthwit Major, there was a pub. I can't remember the name of the pub, but the guy used to put on a fest in the summer, and his name was Pugsley, and the boys called it Pugstock.
Pugstock.
That was really good. That's also, I don't know if he's dead, but it's not going anymore anyway.
I've got a real problem with anyone who puts stock on the end of a festival and calls it after their birthday party or their camping trip.
Wake stock, no love for
all that stuff. Anything with stock on the end, unless it's actually wood stock. As we see, Quello coming around the corner. Just been busy at least, but just can't get any action.
And a surprise entry, German Fest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was there on family holiday and I was about 12 or 13. Right. And there's a German Fest on sort of celebration of German culture and sausage and beer and all that sort of thing. And the Evans family had it's great fun for all the family.
Well, in similar vein, I was recently in Australia and I went up to a place called Cessnock, which is something I'd encourage anyone to do at any stage. Well, but Mullet Fest was on up there, and they crowned Australia's best mullet, and that was a bit of a gathering of the tribe. I thought those involved in mullets, Australia probably a mullet capital, and I think Cessnock might be the mullet capital of the world out there.
This time last year, you'd be forgiven for thinking that Chico's lunch is getting delivered by that boat out the back. Not anymore. He's on a health journey. He's on a wellness journey.
Fit as a fiddle.
He's given up the carbs, given up the sugar. He's looking amazing.
Yeah, he really is. He's an inspiration to many. And you're right. Yeah, the Twitter sphere is coming in. Well, completely different topic here from Tony in Torquay. And Tony's saying, we talked about the northern shores, talked about the southern shores. He says, well, just intriguing, a bit of a geography quiz question more than anything from Tony. He's like, what's the westernmost sort of beach or location in Portugal? He's asking you, Paul. You know, you're known for your geography.
I got this wrong in Peniche. I said it was Peniche.
Right.
And Pete the Condor Mel pointed it out to me.
Wow, that was embarrassing.
I got it wrong. It's actually down south at Sagres, isn't it?
I think it might be Preda Sintra.
Oh, it's all sorts going on.
You got that wrong as well.
Might be something we need to look up.
Yeah, I think it might be Sintra. And we see
fiercely googling
that man, Quello, looking at that one. So I mean, it could be Tony Ray, Tony from Torquay. I mean, down there at Bells Beach. And we see right now at this high tide, maybe just creating a little bit of drama, a little bit of
Cape Roca, Cabo da Roca, also called Focinho da Rosa. It's the most western point in all of continental Europe. It lies on the Atlantic coast of the Lisboa district, about 25 miles northwest of Lisbon. I think you're right there, Ben. You nailed it with Sintra. I got it wrong twice. I had two cracks at it and failed on both.
Good question from Tony from Torquay.
The thing about geography is, Ben, it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
So his west might be someone else's.
There's no wrong answers in geography. That's what I've always said about it. That's what I like about it. But yeah, look at that. Beautiful shots there, the crisscrossing of the bank.
That's probably it up there. I think we're looking at it. It's your Cabo Rosa.
There it is, right there. The westernmost point.
Cabo da Roca.
Cabo da Roca. The westernmost point of the whole of Europe, which is why this part of the world was the where the Portuguese seafarers took off, mapped the world from the westernmost shores of the Atlantic. As we see the Atlantic coming into action now, that's Ben's V trying to get around the corner, just can't get the action. Twitter sphere going crazy though. I tell you, once you light that touch paper, doesn't it? It can blow up.
Sit back and watch the chain reaction.
Got one here from Vivian in Honeysuckle. And Vivian's asking, she said, loving the surf, loving the all the surfers, all the new names. She says, a lot of new names in the sport. She says, what's your favourite, Paul, in terms of surfing-related names that you've come across? She'll take a noun or a verb. She says Barrel McNamara is her sort of favourite so far that she's come across, and she's asking you if you've got anyone else out there that, surfing-related first names or surnames that that you would probably call your kid if you had the choice.
It's tough to look past Alan Stokes because, he makes you feel good.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah. Oh, I think people are more looking at sort of first names that you actually choose rather than names you just hand me down as a surname. So that's why she liked Barrel, because that was a choice by Garrett to call her son. Oh, can Quello get around this corner? He can. First turn is strong. unfortunately, just hasn't been able to get these second ones in or any type of finishing turn. And his body language suggests he's getting a little bit frustrated with it. His wall's just not going down the line.
I don't mind Ola Iliogram, of course, Ola being Portuguese for wave.
Right, well, there you go. That's good, yeah.
Oh, that's Onda. It's Onda, isn't it? It's in Spanish for wave, excuse me. I'm having a nightmare.
This Twitter's really
I'm
got your rattle,
shocker.
isn't it? Yeah. There's a lot of oceans out there, isn't there? See a few ocean Macedo, you know, a Hawaiian surfer. A few oceans getting around out there. Out the back though, speaking of the ocean, Quameda a little bit hung up on his first one. He's waited a long time for this wave, almost 15 minutes. He's made it count. He's got a bit of a rebound here. He might get a section, he doesn't. He kicks out. So a lot of these waves being very similar. And now you can see the urgency in him because he's that's his first wave after 10 minutes.
The thing is, the most westerly point gets all the glory, but I'm really intrigued to know what's the second most westerly point in Portugal?
Well, I think that is Peniche.
Is it?
Yeah, I think Peniche is the second most westerly point. Yeah, that's where you went wrong when you were commenting on the CT, which
Close.
dropped
Tell you
in
what,
there.
second is all right. You make a final and you're like, you know what, I'm disappointed I didn't win, but it's good points, I'll take it.
Yeah.
This is great. Really enjoyed this. Nice amplitude off the bottom, off the top, swooping on a rail. There's not loads of wall in front of him. You can see from the drone he's just next to that white water, swinging the axe. But again, if you think about potential, scores on offer, there's not much more he really could have done with that wave. He went pretty fast, wiggled his board around. I don't mind it.
No, not at all. Adrian in Central Coast says, okay then, he said on Twitter, he's loving the
Is he on the
geography.
mid-north Seni coast, or just, does he specify?
He says Seni Coast.
All right.
Seni. He says, what's the most easterly point in Australia then? Well, Paul's
I'm going to
struggling
go
with his geography.
Byron Bay.
You'll be correct.
Hate Byron.
Exactamon. Yeah, ace. Bit of an easy one. Get his confidence back up.
Yeah.
It's throwing a nice little ball for Evans
Soft
to
ball.
get back in the game.
Yeah.
Second. Yeah, it's firing up, Adrian. Thanks for your call. Thanks for your support. Bit of a break. You know, having the surfers just trying to re-establish themselves in the lineup. There's been a bit of a lull. While there is a bit of a lull in proceedings, we're going to go to a short commercial break and come back with more live action from the Caparica Surf Fest right after this.
I got it right? Yeah.
No way.
Live action here. Surfers just trying to get their heads around this lineup. This high tide's causing a little bit of drama, a little bit of slowness in the action, but there's no slowness in the commentary booth. The Twitter sphere's been lighting up. The surfing's been strong. The crowds are loving these beautiful conditions here in Lisbon. And Paul Evans, how's your vibe? You know, how are you feeling? First morning of the final qualifying series event in Portugal. How excited are you?
Just that slight tinge of sadness when you say the final qualifying event, but the forecast looks great. We've got waves all week. It's beautiful, bluebird, sunny. Winds look pretty good too. Surfers get quite superstitious about the wind, don't they? If you say, oh yeah, it's going to stay offshore all day too many, how many times do you get before it does inevitably start to howl out of the northwest?
Well, as soon as I put my leg rope on, usually. That's usually a pretty good way to make that happen.
Tweet in from Bill in Nazaré. You like the unwanted shapes content featuring Kikus and Nicolau. Because Ben, if you had to go on a surf trip, one of those two, and you had to either surf the eco board or the traditional PU craft, which surfer, which board? And where would you go?
Well,
I don't know why you'd have to go on a surf trip. It would just be an honour, presumably. No?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's like a dream. This is
Go
like,
Fred or Nick?
say,
Fred or Nick, save the planet or kill it. That's your choice, mate.
So I'm a bit confused by the question from Bill. Was it Nazray?
You can only take one of
I'll
those two.
take Nick.
You're going with Nick.
Yeah.
Goofy foot
Yeah,
solidarity.
Goofy foot. Yeah, yeah.
You going the eco sled or you
going eco?
Are you going the
sure.
unwanted or the wanted shape?
I'm going the unwanted. Is that? Yeah, I'm going to go eco with Nick.
Right.
And we're going to just
Where you headed?
go
Long
just
left
a
somewhere?
Real like shallow sort of longboardy wave somewhere. We put him in his place.
Peru, maybe that's some of those long lefts.
Yeah, I'll go Peru. Maybe Chile. Yeah, go to Chile perhaps. And yeah, just bro down and hang out.
There would be a
Just some
rule
great
though.
Instagram stuff.
If the waves get above 2-3 foot, he has to watch you surf. He's only allowed out if it's waist high or under.
He has to film.
And for the rest of the time, yeah, he's got to film Monday.
He's got to
I
create.
like the sound of this chip.
Part of it, he has to create a vlog based on my
He's got to
my
create
longboard
content.
surfing.
Good tweet.
Yeah, good tweet there from Bill. As we see, bit of action here. Surfers paddling towards the horizon. Oh, there's some lines coming our way. This looks more like it. We've got Quello in second priority at P, surfing blue. He's left that one go. He's all left those ones go, but out the back looks a bit more exciting. I mean, the texture, we talk about offshore, but it just looks so clean. And the water out of place. Here we go. So we see surfing blue. First turn is iffy. Second turn, not much better, and he just can't quite connect. So that's not the priority wave he wanted. Meanwhile, Quello, that's a bit more like it. And there's a lot of spray. And he likes that. First time he's shown a bit of confidence in his surfing. Had a pocket to work with, and the local crew are pretty happy about that. Got some tweets coming in. Obviously, this one from Alan in Pennsylvania. He's saying, really looking forward to seeing Francisco Veselko surf, the new world junior champion, coming up maybe not today, hopefully tomorrow. He was saying, he's asking you, Paul, who's your favourite ever world junior champion?
Whoa, just checking out this hip here from Quello. Really nicely done, it was smooth. He cracked it hard. Didn't really like this from Benzvi. Never really got hold of it, did he? Unconvincing, not what he was after. Favourite ever world junior champion?
Yeah. It's been a lot.
Benzvi, just not really surfing fast enough. Don't need to overcomplicate it with sort of technical angles of approach. Just go a bit faster, hit it a bit harder, throw a bit more spray. I think that's the order of business there for Benzvi. Okay, favourite ever world junior champion. Let's go with...
Male and female, please.
Yeah, sure. Favourite female world champ, we're going to go with Mahina Maeda. Yeah, I called that event. That was in Portugal. That was sick. Up in Ericeira. She ripped. Really enjoyed that. On the backhand, belting it. But the men, let's go with Maxime Housteneau on the CT right now. How'd you like them two?
Yeah, don't mind them at all. I mean, as we see, just...
Who have you got, Mendy?
We'll hold the phone here. Seifert coming around the corner. Oh, swooping arms out. A lot of body torque. And there's another one, little layback Larry. He's got really unique style and then finishes it off. So been slow on the heat, but he likes it.
Yeah, not again. Too slow. Not fast enough, mate.
Yeah. So yeah, what's your problem? Lack of speed, is that your major problem? Nice
Sort of
wave though, hey, Paul.
Yeah, he low lines in, but that bleeds all his speed, that carve there. And then from there, he's at the bottom of the wave, and he's putting in some nice cornering, but it's just walking pace. It's pedestrian, and you basically, especially when the waves slow up, you need to go as fast as humanly possible. Maybe wait near the top of the wave, and then go for one huge hit. If you try and join up the dots too much, getting in 4 manoeuvres on an iffy wave, I think it's 4 under-power manoeuvres. I'd rather see one massive one, Ben. It's just my point of view. I'm not on the panel.
Fair enough.
But some people think I should be with analysis like that. But yeah, go faster, one turn. Fewer turns, better turns.
Gotcha.
Well, junior champs, mate, quick, because we haven't got long.
I'm going to go for Hin Fierro for my women world junior champion, and I'm going to go Andy Irons as my favourite.
Yeah, his famous accolade of world junior.
Yeah, that was his bit. It all went downhill up
Well
there.
known for that, yep.
I tossed up Ethan Ewing. But I went with Andy. Out the back, live action. He's just getting those waves aren't connecting. You can tell the body language. He just adjusts his various positions out the back. See if it can't get around that corner. Still low scoring heat. Qualo out in front, but anyone's game. 1 minute 45 on the clock. It has run away with it, hasn't it? It's gone fast, Paul.
Where's time gone? Twitter ate up quite a bit of that heat, didn't it?
It did.
Break in the middle as well. The interview, couple of waves.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going on. Out the back, this looks at Ben's V. Is that a paddle? I think it might be. Qualmodo puts his hands up. Priority judge got a decision to make. And that could be pivotal. 1 minute to go. Doesn't need a big score, does he? Look at Komedo. He needs a 1.16. He just needs anything to stand up on. And you're going to get it, you'd think. And that priority was pretty crucial. He's got 1 minute on the clock. I'm not sure why he isn't going to force his hand on this one. And he has. Okay, so Ben's V. His wave selection's been good. Surfing not quite up to the standard of his wave selection. And that wave is a little bit safe.
He's having a nightmare.
Yeah,
he's having a nightmare.
Yeah, he's not surfing to his capabilities. And he's had the opportunities. He doesn't need a big score either, so might look back at this and think, what could I have done more? Meanwhile, out the back, Komedo doesn't need much at all. Just needs any type of bump.
Oh, it's agonising. He needs a 1. He needs a wave.
He needs a
Is he going to get a wave? Is he going to get a 1?
He seemed to be like hunting around furiously. Just sitting out there, just letting time go by. I suppose that's all we can do. 15 seconds on the clock, nothing coming, and that would be agonising to fall short. So, it's such a tiny score needed, and he's not going to get it. And it looks like that is a wrap. Qualo was the best surfer in the heat, deservedly through. The other 3 surfers, none of them really got the waves or the surfing they needed. And it looks like that is a wrap for now. Ben's V, he had the waves, I think, needed to get through, but didn't. Qualo did enough, could have surfed better. His wave selection wasn't incredible either, but he's just slugged through the tiny heat scores, showing just how this high tide may be starting to fill out, making life a little bit more difficult. But anyway, that's what, the ebbs and flows of the ocean, the ebbs and flows of competition. While these surfers take a breath, we're going to go to a short commercial break and come back with the Caparica Surfers 2023 right after this.
I got it right? Yeah. No way.
Welcome back to the beach, Costa Caparica. To be more precise, it's QS action. Heat number 812, Jacob Carrera of the Azores taking on Paul Boniface of France, Tom Bulsman of Netherlands, Pietro Garou from Italy. I'm Paul Evans, joined by Philippe Jervis. Welcome back, mate.
Thank you, Paul. It's looking.
Yeah, what's happening out there, mate?
Yeah, I was just
going
watching.
on?
Yeah, I was watching Pedro Coelho's hit with his coach. He was my former coach back in the day, and it's getting tougher, tougher and tougher. The tide is filling in. It's so hard to get on the wave, as you can see. It looks like it's gonna break, and out of nowhere, it just disappears. So there's a few opportunities still, but not too many. So you need to play your strategy right and make sure you're on the right waves.
Still got 2 more hours of the incoming as well, which could make things tougher. See Boniface having a quick swing. Jacob Carrera, we've seen ever since, I think, he might have made his QS debut in his home event out in the Azores a couple of years back. Strong power surfer, ton of aggression and speed. Here goes Belsmois. And he's light on his feet, just kind of squeezing and easing his way around the corner on that wave. Have a look here at Boniface. Not super convincing. And that's deep water.
Yeah.
That's reflected by the fact he can never really attack that wave. He's always just having to stay light on his feet. When you do that, it costs you speed.
Yeah, it's very important to stay light, but it's at the same time you know the wave is gonna end up on the steepest part of the sandbank. So there's not much you can do because there's not too much wall. As you can see, he is not allowed to come on the bottom turn and attack the lip strong. This wave actually was a bit better, and he attacked it that first turn very well. Unfortunately, he kind of mistimed it, but as we see Giacomo as well, up and riding on a wave with a bit more wall. Yeah, Giacomo has this problem. He's a really good surfer, but sometimes he's really inconsistent. He falls a lot, but if everything goes right, he's very hard to beat. But yeah, he's a bit inconsistent.
Pedro Coelho took out the last heat. Let's go and have a chat with him.
That's right. Well, Pedro, that was a bit unfortunate that during your heat the waves weren't quite there, but you managed to get the first place. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm happy to make it through. It was a long time since I didn't make a QS. A lot of interferences in the last few QSs I competed. And yeah, it was hard because I was looking at the waves before and it was firing. And then it completely stopped for my heat. But I was lucky enough to get a good turn in the end and advance a bit more safe.
So it looks like that you've learned from your mistakes and we won't see any more little interferences going on, right?
Yeah. I learned a lot. I did like 3 interferences in the last 3 years on this contest. I don't know. It's always on this contest. I don't know what happened. But yeah, now I'm focusing more on that and worrying about the surfing only. And yeah, let's see how it goes.
And what's your goal here on the QS?
I don't have a goal because I didn't compete in the QS this year. This is my first step, which is the last one. So there's not much going on about rankings, but I want to go the further as I can in this contest and make some money maybe.
Get a little practice in for the next season, right?
Yes, exactly, and maybe build some ranking to start good in the next season.
Well, we'll see you in the next round. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, interesting chat. Interference happens a lot when it's small, right? Why is that, Felipe?
Yeah, because you especially in these conditions, on the beginning of the heat, everyone wants to start fast. And sometimes you get caught up in the moment, but actually, last year he did this contest, he did an interference, he went to Santa Cruz on his first heat, he did an interference as well, so there's something wrong with him, and we were talking about that earlier. He was just saying, I just want to make sure I don't make an interference, because obviously now they have priorities, it's easier to deal with, but when on the beginning of the heat, everyone wants to start strong, everyone wants to start the heat fast, and sometimes you get caught up in weird situations and you ended up doing stupid mistakes like interferences.
So the tide flooding in on that bank, and he saw that little peak for Paul Boniface, the Frenchman. He took off behind the peak. It looked like he was on his way to a great-looking wedge. The thing just died underneath him. So it looks like Chico Alves' call of high tide is best might not be exactly what we're looking at today. Thanks for the local knowledge, Chico.
He's the worst local in the world. Well, he has been living here for a while, for a couple of years now, but
he
still
really likes the high tide.
Still, but I think with bigger waves, this peak might hold on. Like tomorrow with the high tide, probably should be best. But yeah, right now it was definitely not the right call for Chico.
All right, here goes Buelsma. And again, it's a fat one. I mean, in fairness to him as well, the banks shift around. Sometimes the bank might be, the sand might be piled up in the shorey. Other times it might be dragged out the back. Does seem our low tide sandbar is quite far out, so you do have that big hole. Live action here from Garou. He's looking very fetching in that checkerboard wetsuit. Little slide of the tail, has a little tap. Albeit a modest opening number for him. Real low scores all around. Here goes Correa. Nicely done. Little snap back in the pocket, carving down on the open face, not putting too much upper body into it. Doesn't commit overly to the turn. The next turn's sort of a demi-complete sort of kick-out turn, really.
It can be so frustrating for a surfer on these kind of conditions. Sometimes you need to stay calm and make sure everything goes right. See, Giacomo is not even paddling with him.
Can't be bothered with the paddle battle.
Not really.
Garou
Yeah.
sees him, starts swinging the arms.
You see
Correa's
the
like,
surfer,
mate.
Surfer in green, he just wants that priority so bad, and Giacomo is thinking, because he's a really mellow kid, and he's probably thinking, nah, this is not worth it. As you see a couple of cutbacks. He has a really nice style, but as you can see, the wave just dies on him, and it can be frustrating. You need to have your mind on the right spot and make sure you believe everything is going to go your way. Otherwise, you get caught up in, oh, it's bad, oh, it's weird, oh, it's not. There's not even enough waves, and that just takes out of your focus. You know, you need to remain calm and make sure you believe everything is going to go all right.
16 on the clock in this one. No major damage done on the scoreboard as yet. The more beady-eyed among you may have noticed Giacomo Carrera running the short leg, the long arm spring. Spring is in the air here. We've got temperatures, high temperatures in the low mid-20s Celsius.
Yeah.
Water temperatures, mid-teens, 15.
Yeah, because we have that bit of a west swell, and normally with the west swell, the water tends to get a little warmer. If we get the north swells, it comes from Ireland and Sweden, and it gets pretty cold. But right now, and it's warm on the outside as well, so spring suit might be the best option, because it gets you loose, especially on these conditions. You have to move a lot on top of your board, and the spring suit is the best.
Those are tides for the day. So low was just before we kicked off this morning, 8:11 a.m. and there's 2 meters of swing, so 6 feet sort of vertically in old money between high and low. That high tide is approaching 19 minutes past 2 p.m. local time right now. It's about 10 to midday, so still over 2 hours of incoming tide. So round about my quick calculations, about 70 centimeters more of water, I'm going to say, to come in on this bank. Now you see on that inside here, could get wedges potentially real close to shore on that shallow sandbar, but at the moment we're dealing with a bit of a gully. So we've just got that gap between the outside and the inside, and it's neither of them, essentially. It's sort of capping over on the outside, but then backing off. That drone shot illustrates there, and just losing energy in that deep zone.
You can see on the other beach, everyone's sitting on the inside, see? Because there's no more waves breaking out the back. And I was expecting to see a couple of wedges on the inside with the high tide as well, but we'll see. Maybe it needs a bit more tide. Maybe it won't break at all. We'll see, because I haven't been here in Costa in a while, so I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm pretty sure when the swell is here, we're going to have some really nice conditions throughout the whole day.
Correa leading this one, I think, basically got style points there. I mean, we don't see it that much come into play necessarily. It's more about aggressive maneuvers, but just smooth between, and the way he linked it up, and it's worth maybe another half point. And with 3 of these 4 surfers each with a 2, just gave him a little click extra, higher 2, and at the moment it's good enough for first. If it does all stop, go flat, he's happy, he's getting through.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's still 30 minutes remaining, but yeah, you're always in a good position if you're in first.
Those low numbers, you see it when the waves are small, you sometimes see it when the waves are big. Think about events, big barrels, and we talked earlier about incomplete barrels. Quite often see when it's 8-foot tubes, you'll see sometimes surfers with a 9 or even a 10 and then a 1.
Oh yeah.
And you see a lot of heats with really, really low numbers. It's all part of the game. It's all about just making it through. Giacomo Carrera having a look around. Really low numbers on the North Shore this season to kick off the CT.
Yeah,
usually, some of the average heat scores, tiny numbers.
Usually the surfer that gets through is the one that adapts better to the conditions, because sometimes you're expecting perfect waves and nice turns or nice barrels, and in the end the wave, sometimes there's heats that you're watching perfect barrels throughout the whole day, and then your heat, the wind shifts or something, and the one who adapts the better is going to get through. And it's the same with these conditions. The one who gets a bit something different and something better than the other guys will get through. So we'll see. This was a nice carving. As you can see, the wave just flats out again, and they're shifting. See, they're gonna go to the middle of the beach. They're gonna try and find some banks. I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to compete out there.
Belsma with a nice swoop from the takeoff, trying to get out of third. Meanwhile, your heat leader here out of the Azores, where he's used to a little bit more power on the ocean than this. Oh, nice vertical. There's that smooth style, and just clocks it, makes it look easy. Didn't fancy the paddle battle with Garou, and here he is. Bang, into the lip late, so a little bit more energy right now, able to take on the lip. And he'll try for an extra section. I'm not sure he connects at the moment. Doesn't get the connection, but good attack out the back. Boniface, again, just a little bit slow in terms of his energy down the line on that wave. That'll keep the score modest, but something for the judges to throw numbers at.
Yes, you need to be smart. And a closing section is better than a soft section, and you can always put a bit more strength and a bit more power on those turns. So Giacomo did pretty well. All the surfers actually went for a wave on this exchange, and if you need just to do one big turn, it's enough. As we see here, it blew up and riding. A couple of turns you can see here. He could have exploded a lot harder on that one, but still he wanted to play safe, make sure. As we see here, just a single turn maneuver. He wanted to connect to the inside, but also Jacques, unfortunately, came a bit behind the section. He hit it late, but for me, it was the best turn of the exchange still. And you need to play smarter, and that's exactly what he did. You just get a closeout and hit it strong on the finishing turn, and judges will like that more than just a couple of carves.
Yeah, you instinctively, you think about small conditions, there's not much power there. You think the lighter surfers on their feet are going to be quicker, and we've got the quite heavy set, quite powerful Giacomo Carrera who's managed to use that big frame. And just the way he's sort of arranging his body and his turns, he's kept his flow up and his speed up.
In his board, he's probably surfing with an epoxy. You can see it, and it just gives you the extra little spark on the surfing.
Garou gets the number. That assault on the lip from him, nice and vert, good enough for a 3. Again, not necessarily highlights real stuff in terms of numbers at 10, but good enough for first place and past the midway point of this 25-minute encounter. Right now, Garou is in the lead, and he'll look to build on that, but they are real modest numbers. Everyone looking for 2s, or at worst, Paul Boniface looking for a 3. So within the grasp of everyone in this one at the moment, the energy is just quite chill out there. Just, yeah, set on your board. You can see the set's coming a long way off.
Yeah, they're just waiting for the few opportunities. There's not too many out there, but still you have to get through, and you have to make sure you make the right calls and make the right decisions to make sure you get through the heat. So you need to stay calm and
different kind of pressure as well in this round. You'd say most of the surfers in this round are probably not looking at Challenger Series for 2023. Everyone's got different goals. We heard Pedro Coelho talk about building up his seed for next year. So it's not necessarily make or break in terms of getting out of this and keeping your season alive. This is more of a chance of experience.
Exactly. They want to get experience. They want to get some points. They want to make sure they understand how the QS regionals work, and so there's a lot more than just trying to qualify for the Challenger Series, and that's why this is such a good event, because everyone gets their opportunity, and you can even make a little surprise, and out of nowhere, coming from the first round, you can go all the way up and mess up a little bit on the rankings with the top guys. It's always fun to see an underdog and someone like that.
Just under 8.5 remaining in this one at the moment. Garou, the Italian, leads Giacomo Carrera, the Portuguese surfer. It's pretty small out there and a little underpowered. Women are on hold. Are we going to send them out? Well, we're going to get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll find out. Join us for more live action from the Caparica Surf Fest real soon.
got it right? Yeah. No way.
Competition returns to Portugal. It's the Costa de Caparica Surf Fest live from Praia do Paraíso. And it's a sunny Monday morning, getting up towards Monday lunchtime. Blue skies, a clean sheen to the ocean surface. Not loads of swell in the water right now. Forecasts look good throughout the rest of the week, though. We're making the best of it thus far. 6 on the clock in this. The young Italian guru leads Giacomo Carrera. Let's get caught up here on the last wave of blue.
Yeah, started off with a cutback, straight into another one, and then the wave. Is he able to connect? No, not really. A couple of cutbacks. We've seen already that gets you those 3 to 2.5, 3 points range. So it's just exactly what you need to get through, because there's not too much scores out there. So the surfer in blue making sure he tries to put something on the board just to close that gap and try to attack the second or even the first place.
It's the Frenchman, Paul Boniface, trying to put some turns on a wave that's always dying from the moment he stood up. It does feel like on those ones you want to get as deep as you can and really try and run at it, try and maybe build up speed, get one hit done. As soon as you go into an open and turn of a cutback, it does feel like you're kind of chasing shadows a little bit, chasing ghosts throughout the rest of the wave. He's in 4th right now. That's the bad news. The good news is doesn't need much. Look at the numbers. Something in the order of a mid to high 2. Get him right up there. And this one will be close till the very end. And we talked about interferences as well. These are the kind of conditions where everyone's sitting next to each other where that can come into play. You've got to be smart with the priority.
Yeah, you have to be really smart and make sure you don't paddle to someone's wave. So there's not too many opportunities, so everyone will try and figure out who's going, who's not going, because sometimes we saw that on the last heat. You saw the surfer in red. He was paddling all the way from behind the peak, and unfortunately didn't come in, and the other guy was paddling just trying to make sure he was on the wave or not. And sometimes you can do those mistakes and even get some interferences, so they need to play smart. There's 4 minutes remaining. They need, as you see, Paul Boniface, he only needs a 2.89, so that's a really small score. But with these conditions, we know that's not gonna easy. That's not gonna be easy. So we'll see. There's still 4 minutes remaining. We have a couple more sets coming.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Under 4 on the clock. Correa with priority. It's not going to be super important while they're spread out like this. We've seen a couple of those wider ones left of your screen, just slightly more south down the beach, that did offer a lip. So they just hit that closeout sandbar. Meanwhile, our main peak that we've been surfing all morning, it's going soft rapidly. So there is a positioning question posed to our surfers. Is that Guru? No, sorry, that's Boniface, I think, who's heading left. He's got a bit of paddle speed, so he knows he's in last place. He's in 3rd in priority as well, so he's thinking, I got to try something different. I got to mix it up here. He's getting himself down the beach. That board paddling submerged. It's like back to the 90s when everyone was on tiny boards.
Yeah, and actually, if I was Jack, I would be sitting on the 2nd place, and the surfer, well, both surfers need a small score, so he's probably sitting on the surfer in white, just making sure he doesn't move. Because I was thinking about coming after the surfer in blue, but he needs to keep an eye on both of them because the scores are really tight. And it's now he has the priority. He knows he needs just to improve on a 2.63. So he might as well just wait for a better one and try to improve, because it's got to make it a lot harder for the other surfers to get on that 2nd place.
Boniface in a world of his own, having a look around, trying to find something, find himself a little bit of room. 2.5 on the clock, a small number, 2.89, that requirement for him. Wellsma, I saw him having a cheeky smile down the lineup, a wry smile when he came back from break. He's only looking for a 2.53. The real bad news for the Dutchman, though, 4th priority. He's going to have to let at least 2 waves go. Surfers with better positions in priority want to take them, otherwise he can have a go at a small one. It does feel like you will need the sets right now, though, not sort of conditions where you can go to a smaller in-between wave, because they're all smaller.
Yeah,
Sets coming.
That's got to be the worst position you can be on these kind of heats. Small waves, small scores, and you're in the 4th priority. So he's moving.
Yeah, we've got some action here, and there's all sorts going in all directions. Little lines sliding in out of the Atlantic. Here's a set. I reckon we'll see a taker here. Priority with Jacquem Correa. He's in second place. Doesn't have a big margin. This one will just cap over on the outside. And it looks like, well, some other Dutchman swinging. Looking for 2-5-3 opening turn. Gets him stuck. That wave will disappear.
The blue also up and riding.
This guy, Boniface. So he moved down the beach. And what's he got? It's smooth. And he want to finish real bad. He won't get it. So I wonder what his first turn was like. Well, in terms of his repositioning, that paid off because he got himself out of trouble where everyone else was. He avoided traffic and he got a wave. Was it enough for the score, though?
I would do exactly the same because that peak, that right-hander peak is not working anymore, and you just need to regroup and try to find your opportunity out there, and he did the right thing. I think he did the right move. Let's see if we can see the whole wave. So we can see he needs a small score, Paul.
40 on the clock. Here goes Boniface.
It's a nice carving. Straight into another cutback. What do you think?
Is it his high score? He needs basically just shy of a 3. His best has been a 2.3. A nice, smooth, stylish turn. Don't know if it's going to be the number. It's nervous moments. That's what the judges are thinking about right now, though. Looks like the score's in. Looks like it's not enough, so it doesn't improve. He might have another crack here. Little wedge.
Look at the wedge.
Under 10. Boniface still looking for the 2.93. Here he goes, looking to drive down the line. He'll wait patiently. A crack on the lip. And a little bonus rebound turn as well. And he gave it a tickle. Let's see where the panel put this.
It's going to connect.
He's still swinging on an inside. This could be crucial. Just trying to squeeze every last drop, and he gets a completion. And you have to at least admire the decision-making and the effort for moving down the beach, for getting himself 2 ways, and crucially, for asking a question. And on that question, I need a yay or a nay. Philippe?
I think it's a yay, yeah. He finished this one off, not too strong, and then he redirected himself, but then he gets the connection, which is something that we haven't seen the whole day, and just clicks one more time. It's not a big score.
You mentioned it. It's all about getting the best out of the ocean.
Exactly. Adapt. He adapted, and
a little wheelie on
looked
the
happy.
end.
He could have exploded here, wham! But it's still an okay turn. He redirect, and then he got the connection. So I don't know. What do you think, Paul?
Spectators are loving this. They're like, oh, what's happening here?
Look at the guy running away from him.
Doesn't try to do too much on the inside. I think that was smart. You see, there's not much room for him to land that turn. It goes dry. There's not really any wave in front of the whitewater. So you can't really smash it and recover because it's just going to go onto dry sand.
It's just a little click
so
on the...
It clicks it up. But I like the redirect out the back. I think if you break down each maneuver and sort of atomize it, you're thinking this is going to be a small number. If you put the whole wave, then you kind of take the long view.
And looking at the whole heat, you just feels like he did something different from the rest of the heat. So who knows? Still waiting for scores.
Well, looks like numbers are in, and just don't have it on our screens. Just that reaction from Boniface looked like he might have not got it because he gave himself the old tap on the forehead. Yeah, there we go. So Garou, he gets it, stays in first. Carrera survives in second. Boniface comes up a little short, 2.7. He'll bow out of competition. So well done to that young Italian. Gets through in first in the low scoring heats. Still nice and clean out here. Waves not the biggest we've ever seen. Swell is on the rise throughout the week, though, and we've got loads of QS action to bring you. We've also got the women hitting the water real soon. Stay tuned for the Caparica Surf Fest, because we'll be right back.
Yeah. No way.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Caparica Surf Fest. I've got the winner from the last heat. How are you feeling?
Oh, feeling really good and so grateful, and yeah.
Bit unfortunate that there weren't a lot of waves in your heat, but still.
I didn't grab a lot of waves because the waves are really small, and I tried to do my best, and I just got the perfect right, and I finished really good, and I ended up winning and feeling good, and yeah.
Are you excited for the rest of the week?
Yeah, I'm so excited and really happy. My first ever QS, and yeah.
Well, you're looking great. Congratulations, you're in the next round.
Thank you so much.
I like this guy, Pietro Garo's first ever QS, gets the win, looks down the camera and says, I ripped it, mate. Smashed it.
Yeah, he was excited. He talked
Good
about
on him.
He talked about the perfect right he got, and he smashed it. So he won it.
Hey, a low scoring heat. You two surfers have got to get through. It's all about getting it done. That's what he managed to do. It's got tough, Chico. At the start of the day, we were tapping into some of your local knowledge about the best part of the tide. You fancied high. Maybe it's a little high, but you were talking about when there's more swell in the water, I'm presuming.
Yeah, normally when there's more swell on the high tide, it gets really fun on this tide because there's rip balls and the swell
Do you get many
handles.
friends ask you about when to surf, or is that you not really the go-to guy for that amongst your crew?
Not really. No. I'm the type of guy that really follows the rules of the WhatsApp group, and I don't know much about swell. Here between us, there's no one watching, so I'll be fine. But yeah, today it's quite small, so it doesn't handle the high tide. So I think that's why we haven't seen many waves breaking right now.
We're still waiting for a decision as to whether we're going to run women or not. Tide is, still got 2 more hours to come in. So wherever we are now, you can add almost, not quite another meter, maybe another 70 centimeters on that. So it's going to get pretty deep.
Yeah,
be tough.
I think we have a couple of hours without too much action. I think on the next 3 hours, it's going to look really slow. But I think we had a moment today. We saw the heat of the day. I think that moment, the waves were looking like they're going to stay the whole day. But yeah, the high tide surprising us all.
The fantastic news as well. It doesn't get dark now. The clock changed to what, 8 p.m. maybe?
I think 8:30.
8:30. Wow.
Yeah.
So potentially we got all of that outgoing throughout the afternoon, and we've got good swell throughout the week. I mean, we're still speculating at the moment. We haven't actually had the call this morning, but assuming we were to go on hold, fun things to do in Caparica. What do you like doing for fun?
Well, I think with the weather like this, I think you can get a football ball and just go to the sand, play a bit.
Football on the beach?
Yeah, football on the beach with your mates. Have maybe a bit of a jump in the water.
Or just ask some strangers if you can join in with them. I mean, if you see some people having a game, people are friendly around here.
If you have no friends, you can actually ask people you don't know if you can play with them. It's actually great. It's like 7 years old again. Hi. My name is Paul. Can I play with you guys?
Little game of footy. Spot of lunch, mate. It's getting up to that hour.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful day. You can have lunch. You can see people surfing on the other side of the beach.
We have been talking about your wellness journey. What are you thinking on lunch today? Some sort of high protein?
Yeah, I think I want to go for some tuna with some salad,
the spinach,
and some
maybe.
Rice. Yeah, I like some tuna.
Yeah,
I think tuna is my go-to.
You've said that now a couple of times. Yeah, you like
I'm gonna go for the 4th time. I love tuna, and I think it's gonna be a fun afternoon to stay around in Costa Caparica because the weather is great.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of action out of the water too, and we expect good waves for this afternoon.
Yeah, sunny Monday afternoon. Obviously, big crowds expected on the weekend. Any chance of a little peek up or down somewhere? Any other further local knowledge? Any secret tips for us? Or
yeah, I think further north there's some peaks that works on the high tide and gets really fun. It's where normally you spend the days on the summer with the family, which is a beach without piers and it's a little bit more safe for the kids. But it gets really fun near the shore, and you can have a surf there. And I always go there on the high tide, so it's really good.
We are considering our options for what we're going to be doing this afternoon. We're still waiting to get the official call from Hugo Pinheiro. As soon as we get... Oh, well, looks like we might be ready for it. Let's go and hear from Joanna Garnell. She looks ready.
We're ready. What happened today? We had such an amazing morning of surfing, and suddenly we lost it all.
That's what we look for, the best conditions on the best tide, and was like that, was perfect conditions until now. Now we have like very slow hits, so we decided to stop it. Will be a chance to have waves afternoon, but maybe just do a couple hits and glare, lots of glare. So tomorrow looks like very good conditions, and we're gonna do a very early call with offshore winds and good swell already. So that's it. Wait for the best conditions for the surfers and for the show.
Well, it sounds like a really great call. We'll see you tomorrow, and back to you guys.
Thanks, Joanna. Thanks, Hugo. We're off for the day, mate. Freedom.
I think he said it. There's a couple of eats in the afternoon. Was only me?
I think he said we could run a couple of heats, but then we got the glare.
Ah, okay.
So if we did start the women, we might get a couple of heats, and then 4 p.m.
And tomorrow we have great conditions.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
so. We might be
So-
off for the day, and tomorrow looking like a really good day of surfing.
Took the words right out of my mouth. So coming back for an 8 a.m. call tomorrow morning, something like that. And just we had the forecast earlier, but we were talking about maybe a meter of swell, 3-4 foot, maybe something.
I
like
think
that
a bit
tomorrow.
more. I think tomorrow the swell forecast looks like it's going to be a lot bigger conditions than today. But I think if the wind stays like this, I think it's going to stay. So it's going to look really clean out there.
Let's check the forecast. Here it is. Today is Monday morning. So that little slight drop in the swell, the longer periods, but just a slight click down. Tomorrow jumps up, mate. Look at that. 2.5 meters by the end of the day. Wowzers. Yikes.
Yeah, I think if it's a spring swell...
Bring your step up.
Yeah, bring your step
Big
up.
wave leash.
I think if it's a spring swell and it has that summer energy, it's going to be not that big. It's going to be really fun. And if it comes up with that winter swell, which I don't think it's coming, it would look a lot bigger than it looks on the forecast. So I think it's just going to be really fun waves overall, really consistent waves, and it's going to be a lot of action to unpack tomorrow.
Yeah, plenty of swell on the forecast for the next few days with those favourable winds as well. It's been a fun morning competition to kick things off today. And thinking about the best of the action that we've seen throughout the day, we're going to have a look at our wave of the day. We had that one heat where it's just absolutely smoking, big numbers going down everywhere. We really enjoyed that. It just does kind of show just how quickly things can change, particularly when it's small, because that was, maybe an hour ago, an hour and a half ago. It's gone from that to not much, but should we have another look? Should we have a look at our wave of the day? Let's remind ourselves how it went down. Oh, well, wait to bring you the wave of the day. We'll keep chatting about...
Playing serious games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. You were serious.
Yeah.
I think I won. I think I won anyway.
So that jump up as well tomorrow. Big round of competition as well to come, and obviously as we go through the rounds it gets a bit more serious with surfers looking to get into challenges and things like that, and I think they will also be pleased just in the way the time period has fallen that they've avoided today, where you could be left with, you could get yourself a good score and then the ocean just goes flat. And for surfers looking to try and get into the challenges, they'll be pretty stoked to have avoided the day where, well, chest high, waist high, small conditions.
Yeah, of course. I think it's crunch time for many of them. And if you look into the competitor perspective, you want to have opportunities on it. And I think tomorrow they will all have opportunities on it. So I think that's what we want to see and what they want to have. So I think they're going to be happy about it.
I'll tell you what I'd like to see? The wave of the day. Let's have a look at it.
Let's have a look at it. Here we go.
Estrella Galicia wave of the day came round about mid-morning in an absolute banger of a heat, this one. You couldn't really take your eyes off it. A load of goofies throwing down big numbers. Stock was blowing up, mate. It was flaring, going to the air, going fast. It was great.
Yeah, this air was amazing. He really torqued his body all the way around. He turned it quick. He uses the offshore wind into his advantage on that turn, and it looked really stylish. And for me, it was the wave of the wave too.
No surprise that our heat of the day brought us the Estrella Galicia wave of the day. We're off for the day now. Enjoy your afternoon wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in. 8 o'clock local time tomorrow. We'll be back for the call here. Loads of action to bring you. A reminder, this is our last QS of the season. We're looking to send surfers to the Challenger Series throughout this week before finals day on Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
See you tomorrow.